Hello. What's up tonight, everyone? Welcome. Good to see you, little planeswalker, recycled toad, awesome dude. How are you tonight? Admiral Average. What's up, everyone? Bobby Darko, Icy J Frog, F Wen, Cloudy Big Tiny. Oh, what's up, everyone? Good to see y'all. Hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. Did the stream ever return the LRR favor? I do not think that we have hammed LRR yet. We probably need to do that at some point. Maybe tonight if they're on when we're wrapping things up. We have a new subscriber, Chomps the Cat. Welcome to the Fishbowl and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Well, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate my voice. Some people don't like it, according to the YouTube comments. Whoa, so many subscribers. SCH Launch 23 is a Lado and Femoral and Stoneforge Mysticism. Oh my goodness. 4 in a row. Welcome to the Fishbowl and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our 4 new subscribers and resubscribers. Thank you so much, everyone. And Quantum C Quasar, welcome you as well. So many subs already. Thank you. Welcome back to the Fishbowl, Quantum. Definitely appreciate it. Big scoops cheer for all of you. LRR should be streaming around 9 p.m. Well, maybe we can get them on our way out the door tonight. Pay them back for last week. Oh, so what a crazy couple days we've had in Standard. So, obviously the big news is the bannings. I am in a absolute state of shock. It's hard. I don't know how long you've been playing Magic. Schofield says, welcome to the Fishbowl and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. So, want to thank Richard for a sponsored video today on MTG Amino. We've gotten like 200 new members since the video went live. Sweet. Oh, I'm not a big app person. I intentionally try not to get too many apps because I know I'll waste too much time if I have things in my hand all the time to play with, but Zavilazar, welcome to the Fishbowl and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscribers. So many subs already. Thank you so much, everyone. So obviously the big news, before we get to the deck and the stream, big news are the bannings, and I haven't really gotten a chance to... Can I give a shout out to Baker Man? Of course, big shout out to Baker Man. So I haven't really gotten a chance to talk much about the bannings yet. So let's, what do you all think? I want to get your opinions, because when we did the podcast, it was right after the bannings were announced, and I was really torn on whether the community was going to be upset because they had lost value in their standard cards, and now their deck was ruined. And I heard some of those stories, like Awesome Dude tweeted at me, and he's like a prime example of that. Like, just got Emeralds for a deck on a limited budget, and all of a sudden your standard deck is crushed. Or, I talked to Jay Zoller, he has those cards, and probably in a different life position than Awesome Dude, but he's perfectly fine with it, and he thinks that it makes Standard better, and it's a worthy payoff. So I'm really curious to see what the general feelings are. So, I don't know. I think Steve OK42, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Oh man, we got to talk more about graphics too tonight. Don't let me forget that. I have to talk to you about 2 different things with that. So, we got a lot to cover tonight. As far as the bannings though, I think they make Standard better. I don't think Reflector Mage makes sense when you see it lined up along with the other bannings, but when you consider all the vehicle decks are taking a big hit because Copter's gone, and Green Black Delirium takes a big hit because Emerald's gone, and the Etherworks Marvel decks. I think they felt like they had to ban something from Blue White Flash, or else with all the other big decks getting hit by bannings, it would just be all about Blue White Flash. So in that sense, I think the banning of Reflector Mage makes more sense. So it's not that it was bad right now, but it would have been bad if they were going to ban some of the best cards from a lot of the other big decks. So from that perspective, it makes a lot of sense. I have to say my favorite banning is Gitaxian Probe. I think that banning Gitaxian Probe makes Modern awesome. What's up, Tristan Compton? It doesn't make, I guess I said that was too strong. It doesn't make Modern awesome, but it pushes Modern in a good direction. It hurts on decks that are like uninteractive, trying to kill you, like Jay Zoller's favorite Infect. Infect decks, the Thing in the Ice decks that are looking to just like cantrip, double strike spell, win with Thing in the Ice. Death Shadow, another deck that plays that style. So it really hurts those decks and slows them down like some small percentage of a turn. It hurts some more than others. Like Death Shadow takes a huge hit. It might not even be a deck anymore. As far as like Infect and those other decks, they get a little bit slower, but it I think it's a really good thing. It pushes Modern in the direction that I want to see it go. And to be fair, I don't think a lot of people know this, but Peak is a card. If you're willing to pay 1 blue mana for your Gitaxian Probe, you can still do that because Peak is literally the same exact card at 1 blue mana. So I am pretty happy about that banning. The Dredge banning, I don't think it makes hardly any difference. I don't think it really hurts Dredge considerably. I think Dredge is probably, I don't know, if it was a 9 out of 10 yesterday, it's like an 8.8 today, because you just slot in Golgari Thug. You lose a tiny bit of dredging in some scenarios, but it's not the difference between Dredge 6 and Dredge 4 that really matters. It's the cathartic reunions and that type of stuff that makes that deck so powerful. So I don't know. That's my take on the bannings. I think Standard, I'm even more excited to brew in Standard. I think Standard is going to be super fun to brew in and play in. But at the same time, I also feel bad that people lost value, and I think it does shake confidence in the game to some extent when we see those kind of bans, especially bans like this that were just so unexpected. Like, no one was expecting bans yesterday until they sent out a tweet at like 8 in the morning. And then even then, no one was expecting Emrakul. We were preparing for the podcast. We waited until the announcement was out to record the cast. So me and Richard and Chaz were all sitting there on a call with each other talking, refreshing the link for the Wizards announcement. And someone tweeted from Reddit saying that someone got the page to load because the site had like crashed and no one could see it. Someone got the page to load and Copter, Emrakul, and the actual bannings that happened, Copter, Emrakul, and Reflector Mage were banned, and we just laughed. We're like, no, there's no way that's true. Someone's just like making this up to get whatever, some upvotes on Reddit, and that was exactly what happened. So even to the point when the bans were being announced, it was just like unbelievable. We'd never seen anything like it before. So it's going to be interesting. The big question is this the new normal or is this an exception? Like, are they just going to ban things because decks to shake up the meta, almost like they do with Modern moving forward? Or is this just a one-time thing? And I guess we don't know yet. The fact that they are adding more banned and restricted announcements makes you think they might ban things more, but yeah, I think the Splinter Twin ban is a pretty good comparison. Anyway, let's talk about this deck so we can get our league started, because I don't know how fast this is going to go. This deck is pretty spicy, so it's sort of a Death Cloud list. We have 2 Death Clouds, and I love Death Cloud lists, so I'm excited for that. But really, this deck just has a ton of one-ofs, a lot of spicy stuff. We get a Dark Petition, a Primal Command, Grave Titan to finish out the game, but the basic game plan is to use Utopia Sprawl to ramp. We have Discard on turn 1, hopefully get down fast Liliana's, Coursers, stuff like that, and then use that to ramp into our big stuff. We can tutor up our finishers with our Primal Commands and so forth. So Wyatt's Felon 3000, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. I think the rotation changes definitely play into it, Jay Zoller. I think that's true. I think if we were getting a rotation with Amonkhet, that it's very less likely that some of these cards would have been banned. So anyway, that's the basic idea of what we're doing, just kind of ramp and either win the game with Grave Titans, Tassigers, or we always have the Death Cloud to like clear things away, but we're not really a Death Cloud deck. We have Death Cloud to use if we need to, but it's not like we're an all-in Death Cloud deck by any means, so we'll see how this goes. Mana base-wise, pretty straightforward. Sideboard, get a bunch of Fulminator Mages to fight against Tron, some Discard, Knight of Souls Betrayal, pretty sweet. This is sort of like a symmetrical Curse of Deathhold, and I'm a big Curse of Deathhold fan. Nature's Claim, Scavenging Ooze for Graveyard Hate and Life Gain, Creeping Corrosion, and Obstinate Baloth to fight Liliana's, gain some life. So I don't know. It's like a rock deck, which is green-black. It goes back to Phyrexian Plague Lord, the rock and his minions sacking. What was Phyrexian Plague Lord sacking? Was it like Deranged Hermit tokens, I think? But that's where the name originally came from, the rock. And Phyrexian Plague Lord was the rock. But so the name is kind of stuck around for green-black, kind of mid-rangey, control-y decks. So since we have the Death Clouds, we're Death Cloud Rock, or Rock Death Cloud. But so we're going to join a league with this. The other things we got to talk about. So we need to get more emotes, and there's one that everyone has been mentioning for a while now, and I can't remember it. But if you if you have any ideas for more emotes, you gotta let me go. Would I do you a favor when I play Commander Clash? I really want you to leave your commander revealed so you remember it's available. That's actually a pretty good idea. That might help me cast it. Feel that Wizards kind of force themselves into the ban since they refuse to print good hate cards. I agree with that. I think the Emrakul problem definitely could have been solved if they had printed some graveyard hate, or at least minimized. Scoop's Chest, yes, Scoop's Chest was a good one that people had been mentioning. That's right. Seductive Go is also a good one. The other thing is we're going to try to make some more tokens. So if you have ideas for tokens, let me know that as well. So if you have ideas for emotes, you have ideas for a second print run of Goldfish tokens. I think Angel was a popular one that came up. Maybe Squirrel? I'm trying to remember the other ones. Seductive Goat is sweet, but it's such like a inside joke. Maybe it's still fine. Sapperling, Spirit Token. Oh, Spirit Token's a good one. That is a good one. We forgot about that. Mirror Token. Oh, man. I should actually be keeping track of this, shouldn't I? It doesn't make much sense to ask for this and then not write it down. So Scoop's Chest was one of the emotes. Land, and then tokens. Spirit, Dragon. Dragon's a big one. Permeating Mass. We do have Thopter. Thopter was in the first print run. Servo's a good idea. Goblin was also part of the first print run. Actually, if you're not familiar, if you go to the merch page, you can see the tokens we already have. Thopter, Goblin, Spirit, and Zombie. Those are the ones we have right now. But anyway, I'm gonna get in the league so we can get the matches started. So maybe we'll get done in time for a game of Momir tonight. But keep the ideas coming. Kobold tokens. Technically, that's a thing. That's a thing that exists in Magic. Yeah, let's play some Rockcloud. Merit Lage Scoops token, Cloud Lizard, Monkey please. Yeah, I tried to convince Richard to make a Ragava or whatever the legendary monkey is. I'm probably misremembering the name. But we kind of need more more generic tokens that people. That's see, I like Surf token. I think that would be hilarious. I think a Seductive Goat token would be hilarious, but if you're not like part of the stream or like directly in that part of the Goldfish community, you probably don't have any interest in those. So they got to be tokens that people actually want to play with too. So they can't just all be inside jokes. And the Petcast said some combos. One, the Scrap Trawler Eggs deck. You said you bring back any egg, but it says less converted mana cost. Can you explain that a bit? We have a new subscriber, Bolivius. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big Scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Annihilator tokens? Ooh, Young Pyromancer Elementals is a good one. So, if I said that, I think I misspoke, because you can't... it's actually not a good combo piece. You can use it for value. So if you can sack like a Prophetic Prism, you can get back a 1-mana egg. But that doesn't actually make an infinite combo. I'd have to listen back to the podcast, because if I said that, I was mistaken. So actually Scrap Trawler is like intentionally printed in a way where it's really difficult to combo off with. Spirits, Angels, Dragons, Servos, Clues, Young Pyromancer, Element. Ooh, Vampire, that's a good one. Vampire and Elf. Very good, good suggestions. Alright, Wooded Foothills for our opponent. Ooh, this hand is shaping up. So that's Misty Rainforest. Let's go Terps! What's up, James? Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big Scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Yeah, so let's just Utopia Sprawl on black. Opponent is cracking their fetch. Hopefully they don't Force Spike us or Mana Tithe us. Alright, so Utopia Sprawl on black, pass the turn. Ooh, Sliver tokens? Sliver, Dwarf, okay. Are there Dwarf tokens? Oh, Eidolon. Alright. Well, thankfully we have Primal Command, which gains us 7 life in hand, so that's going to really help. So I think what we're trying to set up here... Ooh, Mardu Burn, eh? So I think what we're trying to set up here is kill Eidolon, and then likely... Oh, another Eidolon. Alright, well, with this on the stack, we need to kill the first Eidolon. Drop to 17. Opponent gets another Eidolon. So, crack this. Get Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Inquisition. Alright, Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. I think we're just going to play Garruk here. And then leave up Slaughter Pact if we really need to. Thank you, Little Planeswalker. Ooh, Wormcoil Engine tokens are also pretty sweet. Alright, so play Garruk. Let's just make a 3/3 to block this Eidolon. Pass the turn. Sand Warriors. Oh, that's such a limited token, but they're pretty sweet. Where's 0 and 0? Oh yeah, I gotta reset the screen size, you're right. This is our very first game. We were talking bannings for a while, so we kind of got off to a somewhat late start. So you're right in time, actually. What about... Oh, good idea. Good idea with the Straw Poll. And a Helix on our Beast. I don't know why our opponent's doing that before Monastery Swiftspear comes down. Sort of odd. Gets in a Garruk. Gets in... Ooh. Is it worth it to Slaughter Pact to keep Garruk alive? Probably. Ugh. Alright. We'll do it. Slaughter Pact. Actually, this is not smart. Because I get to kill Garrick anyway. Well, I guess we wanted to kill that thing, but that wasn't as ideal as I was thinking in my head. Damnation. Alright, let's Inquisition. Jeez, they are mono Eidolon dot hand. Take Boros Charm, pass the turn. So hopefully our opponent plays Eidolon and we can just Damnation and then untap in Primal Command, and then I think we get to win. What's up, Stu? Yeah, that play was pretty bad. Night Owl, 6 months in a row, free looter scooter. I don't know about that. I really do believe that Standard is better without Emrakul and without Smuggler's Copter. Copter's a little stranger just because they just printed Fatal Push, which is such a good answer. So that's a little weird, but... Alright, there's a Swamp. I don't think we want a Death Cloud yet. I think... Alright, I think we know our opponent has Searing Blaze in hand. We're going to be at 10. So let's just Damnation here. Get rid of the creatures. Play a Swamp. Pass the turn. So next turn, we can Primal Command. Gain 7 life. Search up something. Am I a New Jersey Devils fan? I'm not a hockey fan at all. So I guess if I was a fan of a hockey team, it would be Buffalo Sabres. Just because... they're the closest to me, but I'm not really a hockey person. Alright, so let's just do this now. Primal Command, we will gain 7 and tutor for a creature. I don't know what we're searching for. So what do we get here? If we get Tassiger, we can play it right away. Oh, actually, this is probably pretty clear. I think we just Eternal Witness so we can get back Primal Command. That's gotta be the smartest thing to do. And then we can Eternal Witness, get back Primal Command, and then, yeah, Awesome Dude's here somewhere, at least he was. And then after all that, then we can search out a Grave Titan or something. So, get an Overgrown Tomb. No Thrag Daddies in this list. This is interesting. It's not a really, like, heavily devoted to Death Cloud list. Like, it has the Death Clouds, but that's not really, like... the main focus of the deck. It's more of a secondary plan. Instead, it's kind of just a green-black good stuff deck without Tarmogoyf, which is nice. It makes the deck a lot less expensive. So Witness, get back Primal Command, pass the turn. Have I ever been to Israel? I have not. What's up, Thelen? Welcome from the U.S. Hey, Average Toaster. How goes it tonight? Am I expecting Boom Bust to see play in Modern with the free cycle? I think it might see a bit of a uptick, but I really think that Bet Call, I think that's the big one. I think Bet Call is ready to shoot up the Modern rankings. Well, let's get in with Eternal. Yeah, let's get in with Eternal Witness. And then Primal Command, same thing. Gain 7 life. Search for a creature. Would you want me to send me your Infinite Thopter Standard deck? Sure, yeah, that would be sweet. Really? That was a card you drew, opponent? Oh my goodness. Opponent had 1 draw step, and that was it. Well, we'll just get another Eternal Witness. Pass the turn. What about Affinity for Modern? What about Affinity for Modern? Hey, congrats, Apes of Wrath. Buying a house is a huge deal. That's awesome. Yeah, breaking and yeah, I really like that list. I really want to try that list as soon as it's on Magic Online. There's just so many sweet things going on in that list. All right, let's Murderous Cut this thing. We are down to 7, but unless our opponent just gets super, super lucky, it shouldn't matter. So we get to Eternal Witness, back our Primal Command. How many Primal Commands can our opponent actually survive? Am I attending GP Vancouver in February? I don't think so. Tomer was asking me about that. I don't think I'm going to go to it, but... you never know. Maybe Tomer will. Or you could get it Richard. I don't know if he would go. He's like a lot closer than I am because he's on the West Coast. All right, so now we'll just get... Actually, let's just get Tasker. Tasker seems sweet. Grave Titan is sweet, but we can cast Tasker right now and start getting stuff back from our graveyard. And we can... All right, opponent scoops it up. Well, that went super, super good. So that was pretty sweet. I'm pretty pretty happy with that one against Bird. Do I know if you can cast Kicker, cost spells with Kicker off the free, like Brain in the Jar? Can. Ooh. Kicker and Brain in the Jar. I doubt it. I don't think you can pay alternate costs. So I'm going to go with no. You can escalate, though, I think. Maybe not. No, I'm going to go with no, but I'm not 100% sure. What's up, Sinin playing? SNE play MTG? Sunsetter's Limbo, I'm looking for a super fun, ridiculous deck to play this Friday for F&M. Any suggestions? I've kind of been out of the standard brewing loop the last few weeks, waiting for Ether Evil, so I don't really have anything new for standard right now. Check out the budget magic list. Like something like Reckless Panharmonicon is really cheap and really fun and different. Could that budget standard eggs list you posted on the site be a budget magic? It looked really cool, so I would like to delve into it further. Yes, that's definitely a possibility that we will play it on budget magic in the future. Is there a certain name for viewers like PewDiePie calls his subs bros? Are we goldfish, minnows, sharks? So we've never really talked about that. I mean, we know you're in the fishbowl, but we haven't really determined a name for followers, but there probably could be a sweet name. You can pay additional costs like click Kicker and Entwine. Well, that's good to know. Stewites. Oh, sweet. Do I have a favorite physical card I own? Bilduvian Shaman? That holds a special place in my heart. I don't know why. I don't have a good reason or justification for it, but I love me Bilduvian Shaman. I have it from a collection I bought a long time ago. We should actually sideboard before we lose. That's probably a reasonable plan here. Maybe go down the Maelstrom Pulse. Something like this seems fine. We actually have a lot of life gain, which should be helpful in this matchup. Yeah, let's try it like that. A bowl full of olives. Okay. Ramp. Scavenging Ooze. Opponent's on the mulligan. That seems fine-ish. Yeah, Bilduvian Shaman is it's just so ridiculous and absurd that I really love it. We have a... Oh, it's not even pulling up the text. Kogi, Coat G. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. Ooh, that's a Bailoff, too. Alright, Treetop Village, go. So we can just, like, turn 2 Scavenging Ooze, turn 3 Bailoff. Hope we don't get Skullcracked. How do I decide which decks to play in the streams? So, usually, one stream a week is usually one of the runner-up decks from our Instant Deck Tech series. So, that's usually one. And then the other one is sometimes an Instant Deck Tech deck, like a runner-up deck. Other times, it's just something I feel like playing. And that's what this one is. I just thought this deck was cool. Showed up in the Goldfish database, so... Yeah, Bilduvian Shaman is just so wordy and ridiculous. And for all those words, it doesn't even really do anything powerful or reasonable or anything. So that's why I love it so much. It took them like 1,200 words to make a card that does essentially nothing. Do you think this green-black Delirium decks and Marvel decks are dead? Green-black Delirium, no. I think the green-black Delirium decks will trend towards the more aggressive builds. Like, there was a Ephro build going around that didn't even play Emrakul. So I think that Green-Black Delirium will be fairer, but I think it'll be fine without Emrakul. Not as dominant as it was before, but I think the archetype lives. I mean, there's still no graveyard hate. Ishkana is still a really push cards. Would I play Affinity? Maybe? I would have to think about playing Affinity. So I think Green-Black Delirium is fine. Marvel is going to be... I think Marvel gets significantly worse. I think it'll still be a deck, but I don't think the all-in energy builds of Marvel are nearly as scary. Like, those were the builds from around Pro Tour Kaladesh that scooped really hard to counter spells, and I think that that's what the decks go back towards. What made them so scary was being able to hardcast Emrakul. At least in my opinion. That's what made those decks way scarier. So I think they'll be okay, but I think they're a lot worse than they were before. Anything to get back? Not really. Yeah, I guess we just Scavenging Ooze and Overgrown Tomb. We need this Swift Spear. Our opponent might just be losing to our life gain, honestly. Pro Tour Ether Revolt is not until the first week of February. Alright, opponent Skullcracks prevents our life gain. If we lose even through all this life gain, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. Overgrown Tomb tap, pass the turn. Ever try Oracle and Vec in Commander? I have not. Oh no. Well, we could be dead here. Even through our Baloth. Alright, Eidolon does not kill us. That's not too scary. Harlian, welcome back to the Fishbowl. 3 months in a row. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Alright, so I think our plan here is to fire up Treetop Village to force the chump block. And then we can eat something with Ooze to go up to 7, so we're not dead to 2 lightning bolts. So pushed essentially just means, I guess, very good. Like, when they were developing the card, they gave it a little extra oomph to make sure that it would see play in Standard. Alright, we're just going to pass. Yeah, let's just pass. This leaves up Abrupt Decay, and if they have, like, Double Bolt, we can eat the Eidolon in response. So the only way we die here, I think, is Boros Charm plus a Bolt effect. Just listen to the podcast regarding this. I agree with all the bannings except for Reflector Mage. Spell Queller would have been my choice. Well, if I got to choose, I would have picked Gideon, because Gideon is a pretty absurd card. So I think that Gideon moves up the list. I would not be surprised that if Gideon was once again like the card of the Pro Tour. 1UP TCG, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our re-subscribers. Says you rock, well, you rock. 1UP MTG, thank you so much for the support. Oh yeah, I forgot to do this earlier. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the MTG Goldfish Replay YouTube channel, where you can find all of our old streams at some point in the future, or this stream at some point in the future. And also, the normal YouTube, oh my goodness, Tomorrow's Against the Odds has one of my all-time favorite, maybe my all-time favorite Against the Odds match. It is so sweet. Well, they banned Emrakul's too, and Emrakul is arguably the most facey card of all of 2016. Like, they pushed that. I guess it's not a Planeswalker, but it is a... So I guess there's an argument that they don't want to touch the Planeswalkers. That's why I think the idea that they'd ban Saheeli is crazy. There's no way they're going to ban Saheeli. If they want to ban the combo, they're going to ban that cat thing. Felidare Guardian. Alright, so we're up to 1-0 with Rockcloud. Currently playing Malire Company in Modern. If I sent you a list, do you think you'd want to stream it or play it or something? Last 2 weeks. Played in one both times. Keep in mind those two FNMs had 5 rounds. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Awesome, dude. Maybe. I mean, you can definitely send me the list, but we're 1-0 now. How long is it going to take for Emerald's price to drop? I think it should start dropping. Has it not even dropped? Has it not dropped yet? I mean, it's not going to ever be a bulk card because it's Emerald, it's popular. Yeah, it hasn't really dropped much yet. I mean, it crashed on Magic Online. It was 20 and now it's 7. And it was as high as 30 back in, 32 not that long ago. Alright, I like this hand. I think the Felidare Cavern is going to be good. Oh, thank you, Plants. Well, I think the chat's active because I really like talking to the chat. So that's how we like to do it around here, is we just have a conversation the whole time. So it's partly playing Magic, but the main reason I stream, really, is so we get to hang out and chat and interact and answer questions. Have I seen the Esper Seance list that Zach Elsick has been playing? I have not. It sounds pretty spicy, though. I wonder if he's just trying to get the reward from the Reddit guy. Do you remember that when the guy actually... This was like a year ago. The guy was like burning seances and trying to get them to spike for some weird reason. And he was like offering a huge bounty if anyone made videos or wrote articles about seance. Do I think Is It Burn is going to be good? Is It Burn in standard? Modern? Seems less likely in standard. It probably could be fine in modern. Continue my blue-black improvised deck that plays 4 Bone Saws, 4 Cathar Shield, and 4 Ornithopters, as well as Mind Dilation. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. That sounds pretty spicy. Alright. Let's Utopia Sprawler Forest on black, and then just hit our opponent with this. I'm following, but I don't know how to sub. So you can just click up on the top of the screen, I believe. Naz Smith! It's Naz Smith. What's up, Naz Smith? Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Jeez, this is pretty much the nut draw. Good God. Battle Rage, double mutagenic growth, faithless looting. Wow. It was very possible we would die next turn. Well, I guess we just take Teamer Battle Rage here. I think is the scariest card, and pass the turn. I think this deck is another one that gets hurt quite a bit by probe banning. They should have probably banned mutagenic growth too, but yeah, green-red energies definitely seems better. And I really like that Smuggler's Copter, I think, is going to make the format a bit more diverse. Oh, no. That is a sleight of hand. So our opponent is going to be able to flip their thing in the ice if they want to. Yeah, I guess I should have Inquisition turn 1. We still might be able to get out of this with the help of Death Cloud. It depends on what our opponent draws into. So in Faithless Looting, double mutagenic growth hit us for a bunch. We could just draw an Abrupt Decay or something, number 1. Number 2, we can Tasigur, Chump for a turn, and then Death Cloud. The Phyrexy mana spells are just problematic because they break the color pie so ridiculously. I've been looking for Aetherborn, and apparently we have enough to make a full-on tribal deck in mono black. Ooh, that's sweet. I am a believer that Jace could be unbanned without major issues, especially based on our current format. If someone bought Amazon Prime for you as a gift, can you not do the free subscription thing? Anyone know? I believe you should be able to, but I can't say 100%. So I mean, it's just the red-blue decks shouldn't have access to a mutagenic growth or mono blue decks or whatever. I mean, it's the same argument against Dismember, and I think Dismember is actually, because of all the other broken cards, it's actually kind of important for keeping decks alive, but no. Against the Odds comes out. Against the Odds isn't out yet. I was just recording it today. It comes up tomorrow night. So, normal schedule. Hannibal 3188, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. And another one right in a row, Doggle. Thank you as well. Welcome you to the Fishbowl. Big scoops here for you. So many subs tonight. Super awesome. Oh, I don't know, Justin KP. I guess I'm not 100% sure then. So we're taking 11. This should be interesting. Yup. Down to 11. We draw a forest. So I think our plan is Tassiger. That's not good. 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess we have to Overgrown Tomb untapped into Tassiger. I don't even think this is a bad matchup, but I'm not very confident that we're going to win this game. So Tassiger down on chump block duty, pass the turn. If we can survive this turn by chumping, we can Death Cloud away our opponent's board and almost all their lands. If they drew like a Vapor... Alright. Good drawing. Did deck tech on Werewolves and Dragons list a couple months back. Been a big fan ever since. Oh, thank you, Hannibal. Yeah, that was one of the first deck techs we did for after Eldritch Moon came out, I believe, if I remember right. That was a pretty sweet deck. Yeah, our opponent had a good draw, and there might have been a bit of punning. I probably should have just Inquisitioned on turn 1. Q-Dig, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. We actually don't have that much for this matchup. Yeah, we didn't have enough black mana. Unfortunately, Death Cloud is triple black, so it's super black intensive. What is my favorite deck now? Well, I think my favorite deck overall is still Freewind Red. I just really love that deck. So the Rock, if you weren't here for the beginning of this stream, the Rock is actually a historic Magic deck name. So there was a green-black deck that was named the Rock, and it was a green-black mid-range deck, and it was built around Phyrexian Plaguelord, who was the Rock, and it was the Rock and his minions, and the minions were squirrel tokens from Deranged Hermit. So ever since that deck, the name has kind of stuck as representing a green-black mid-rangey type deck. So I was trying to think of a way to like differentiate this from some of the other Death Cloud decks we played in the past, where we are just like all in on Death Clouding and ramping and Thragtusk or whatever. So this, I thought that was a way that maybe I could differentiate it, because this really is a green-black mid-rangey type list. Not overloaded on ramp or anything like that, that just happens to play a couple of Death Clouds. Alright, so what are we cutting? Probably Dark Petition is bad, and most likely Ob Nixilis. Oh, I forgot we had Ob Nixilis in here. This deck is so sweet. Ob Nixilis in Modern? Oh. Do I think the Werewolf and Dragon deck could be modified for Modern? I think it could be. So I didn't build this deck. This isn't my... this isn't my build. This one, actually, someone played it in the MOX, the Magic Online Championship Series event, and went 6-2, I think, which is a pretty reasonable finish. Secret Handshake, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Alright, well, I'm not going to make the mistake of not thought seizing on turn 1. So we're going to go down to 15 life to thought seize. Hopefully take our opponent's only creature. This deck, as weird as it sounds, it's like Spell Boggles. Because it's so creature light that probably the best way to disrupt it is just by making sure it doesn't have creatures. Oh no, that's a Blood Moon. Oy. Well, we have a Utopia Sprawl. So how do we do this? Kiln Fiend, I think Thing in the Ice is actually less scary here. I think we just take Kiln Fiend. Yeah, let's take Kiln Fiend, pass the turn. Oh, our mana situation is not ideal by any means. The Jimothy, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. Do I think it's worth speccing on Looter Scooter for Frontier since it's so cheap on Moto? Well, if you were expecting them to implement Frontier on Moto in a timely manner, then yes, that would make sense. On Magic Online, I haven't even really considered buying cards specifically for Frontier, because it seems like it's a little risky. You just never know with Magic Online. Alright, so play the Forest. Utopia Sprawl the Forest. Set it on black, I think. Yeah, let's set it on black. Pass the turn. So we might just have to Thought Seize this Blood Moon, because that would be pretty bad for us. Why do I think Probe got banned and Mutagenic Growth didn't? That's a good question. Who's my favorite Planeswalker? That is Venser... the Sojourner. I really love Venser. There's Thing in the Ice. Little scary. Garrick, A. Well, Twilight Mire. 1, 2, 3. Green, black, I think. Alright, so play... Can we play Garrick too? Play Garrick, untap, untap. We can't Thought Seize. Yeah, so we got an Eternal Witness. So my first videos, I don't think I was depressed, but I just was nervous and not used to recording videos and stuff. I'd never really done that before. So it was kind of just me finding my voice, I guess, and figuring out how to do it. So I think that's the main thing. All right, let's Thought Seize. Serum Visions, Mutagenic Growth, and Blood Moon. I would love to take Serum Visions. That's a card that most scares me. But I think we might have to take Blood Moon here. I can't tell if Smuggler's Copter is a standard staple or a bookmark. Please send help. I think it's more on the bookmark end now. What do I think of the hypothesis that Emrakul is controlling R&D to ban herself, just like in the Vorthos? That's possible. Yeah, Moon is pretty bad for us. Oh. But Serum Visions is a card that lets them flip this Thing in the Ice. I guess we just gotta live to fight another day. They shouldn't be able to do it next turn, hopefully. Oh, if we had one more green source, then I would, I think. Alright, we gotta take it. We do have a lot of removal, so we can just draw into removal for the Thing in the Ice. Can we coax from Blind Eternities to grab an Emrakul? I don't think that's legal, but that would be sweet if they had an exception. You can still coax for it. Hey, what's up, Nuthead Jack? Thank you. So, do you remember, and if you weren't around for this, the best part, last time we had standard bannings, was Jace and Stoneforge Mystic, and Wizards had just printed an event deck with Stoneforge Mystic, so they made an exception to the banning if you played the literal event deck straight out of the box. So the card was banned, but it wasn't banned if you played exactly the pre-constructed event deck. Alright, we might get countered here. I hope we don't. Cubass1990, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Alright, no counter means we get to untap 2 lands, play a Courser. I think is better than Liliana. Yeah, I think so. Courser, play Treetop Village, gain a life, and pass the turn. We're not quite to the point of getting the overrun win. Hopefully our opponent can't flip Thing in the Ice this turn. That would be bad for us. Oh, artifact lands. Where did the name Cawblade come from? So the original deck was Caw Go, which was a blue-white Jace control deck featuring Squadron Hawk to shuffle your cards with Jace, generate card advantage, give you some blockers. So there was Caw Go, which referred to like a draw go control deck. It was kind of a pun on that name. Instead of draw go, it was Caw for the Squadron Hawk Go. And then when they added the swords and Stoneforge Mystic package at Pro Tour Paris, it got the name Caw Blade, so it morphed from the Caw Go pun into Caw Blade for the swords. Probe in Future Modern Masters 2017. Do you really have the doubles? Ah, no, my goodness. Oh, well, we did not run good enough, unfortunately. Oh, man, that's so painful. Well, good thing this deck will not exist in a week. I will not be disappointed to not lose to that deck anymore. I don't even think that deck is actually that good. That's actually, for some reason, I can't beat Infect consistently, but I never lose to that deck, or rarely lose to that deck. I accidentally cursed in a YouTube video once, a long time ago. Magic Online, it wasn't even in regards to gameplay. Well, yeah, on Modo it starts tomorrow. You're right, the bannings. Welcome back, Jor. It did happen in a YouTube video once. And it wasn't gameplay. Modo froze up and was like freezing up, and I said something under my breath, and it got in the video. Well, it was edited out of the video in future broadcasts. The FCC came down on me hard. Had to pay a big fine. It's funny, but I actually don't curse much in real life either. I curse more in real life than I do in videos, because I don't curse in videos or on stream. But I'm not someone that curses a lot in real life anyway, so it's not like I'm sitting around here trying to talk differently because I'm on video or streaming. So it's just kind of natural. I'm used to being around like my little nieces and nephews and people like that, so I've just kind of like taught myself, I guess, not to curse. I cursed, yeah, I mean, it depends on the situation. Richard wasn't even really mad about it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a YouTube channel or a stream that curses. I have no problem with cursing, but when we made the channel and the stream, we made a conscious decision to be family friendly in the sense that if you're, I don't know, 12-year-old or 8-year-old or whatever age you are, that you will be welcome and feel welcome in the stream. It's just the opportunity cost is so low. Like, I've never had anyone get upset because I don't stream, because I don't curse on stream or in videos. But on the other hand, there's some small percentage of people that probably wouldn't watch because of cursing in streams or on videos. Does Richard give me annual performance reviews? I don't know. That hasn't happened yet. Maybe he will. I don't know. We talk a lot, so we're kind of constantly, me and Richard, even though we live across the country, we most of the time communicate on a daily basis, talking whatever on Skype or through email, usually on Skype. So yes, we got beat down by Thing in the Ice, unfortunately. Well, and that's what I'm saying. I'm used to not. Oh, well, we'll see how this goes before sideboarding. After side, ooh, there's a tech edge that could be helpful. Well, we could Utopia Sprawl into Liliana. Let's just Thoughtseize. Get rid of our opponent's best thing. Oh, this is Blue Tron, eh? This is actually a little less scary. And they don't have another Tron piece. So I think we take Thirst. Yeah, let's take Thirst. Pass the turn. I'm much less scared that this is Blue Tron. Yeah, we have an entire... Oh, no. Yeah, punished. Punished to the extreme. Well, Forest and Utopia Sprawl on black. Oh, we just saw our opponent's hand, too. Well, at least we get to leave up Abrupt Decay. Has Wizards announced the historical Gauntlet standard deck yet? They have not yet. Well, our opponent is now one Tron piece away from playing Huge Eldrazi, which is pretty bad. Platinum Angel is not super scary. If they draw another Tron piece, I'm going to probably lose it a bit. I'm not going to swear, don't worry. Utopia Sprawl on black. Liliana. Take down Liliana. Get rid of the Platinum Angel. Play Treetop Village. Pass the turn. The good news is we can start killing lands next turn. So as long as they don't draw Urza's Tower this turn, which would just make me cry. Then we... Okay, just an island. Island's fine. Things are looking up now. Another Abrupt Decay. So let's tick up Liliana before we Tech Edge. Discard Abrupt Decay. Opponent discards a Repeal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's safest to just Tech Edge here rather than trying to Primal Command. Because Primal Command can get countered. Opponent adds some mana. So let's go to combat. And I guess we might as well fire up Treetop Village. We're not really doing much else. And pass the turn. Whoo! Yeah, the map, we couldn't really Abrupt Decay a map. That doesn't work that way. We don't have any Surgicals in this deck, unfortunately, although that would be pretty sweet. Ooh, Courser. Well, let's tick up Liliana. Discard another Abrupt Decay. Opponent discards the Ulamog. Interesting. I think we're going to wait on Primal Command and just... Oh, this is so weird. I guess we got to tap 5 mana to play this Courser. Yeah, let's just play Courser. Oh, what was the punt? Did I miss a punt? Uh-oh. Opponent gets to Condescend. We cannot pay for Condescend. So our opponent gets to Scry. Looking for that missing Tron piece. Oh, leaves one on top, so they may have found it. They did discard the Ulamog, though, so maybe they don't have a big finisher? What's the best Blood Moon deck to build, thinking about buying a couple from a friend. Well, there's actually a lot of different options. Well, let's take up Liliana. This makes things easy. Take up Liliana. Discard Slaughter Pack. Opponent discards Condescend. And now we can just start doing our fun little game of... we're going to put a non-creature permanent on top of its owner's library and search for a creature. So we'll put Urza's Tower on top, search for a creature. I think that the Gitaxian Probe deck really hurts the Kiln Fiend decks. So we'll get an Eternal Witness and pass the turn. And now we might just get back our Tectonic Edge. That seems like a pretty fine line. Thoughtseize we can discard, so take up Liliana. Get rid of Thoughtseize. And this means our opponent won't have a window to resolve anything with Tron. So Eternal Witness, get back Tech Edge. Play Tech Edge. Sack it, kill the tower. Opponent taps it. I guess that's just force of habit. It's not like they can do anything with the mana, but would it make sense to ban Imprison in the Moon since we don't have to fight Emrakul anymore? I guess from a flavor perspective. What's my say on Mardu Green restore balance in Modern? I have no idea what that is, but it sounds interesting. Alright, play a forest, fire up our treetop village. Opponent's gonna Tech Edge it. They can also Ghost Quarter away all of our mana. Yep. Well, none of this really matters, though, if we get to Ultimate Liliana. We're just gonna, like, put our opponent so far away from doing anything. So they just basically got a whiff on Tron for, like, one more turn. So take up Liliana. Pass the turn. What would you think would end up replacing Probe in Death Shadow, or is that deck just dead? So out of the Probe decks in Modern, Death Shadow is by far the one that gets hurt most by that change, by the banning. So is it dead? Maybe. It definitely goes from like tier 1 to tier 2 or tier 3. So it really gets slammed. I think that the Thing and the Ice decks are just below that as far as impact, and then Infect is the least impacted. I've seen like Tom Ross on Twitter talking like, oh, you just play Serum Vision or some more pump spells and Infect is fine. So I think that's the ranking. Jack DPD, welcome to the Fishbowl and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Well, I guess we just Ultimate Liliana here. Might as well. Thoughts on the 300% spike of bet call since you called it last stream? So, I don't think it has anything to do with the stream. I think it's mostly because of the spoilers and how well it works with some of the cards from the new set. But it makes sense. What's up, Fat Robot? Thank you for the subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. I guess we got to split it like this. Actually, maybe we leave... Let's get rid of this Ghost Quarter is annoying. So, because that can get our land with all the enchantments, I think this is probably correct. I've been playing Teamer Summonings ever since I posted videos, and I've had great success. How do you think this deck is poised after the standard bannings? I don't think the standard bannings really hurt it much. Or at all. I probably could have gotten in with Treetop there. Although our opponent does have Ghost Quarter, but that's fine. So I think that Teamer Summonings is probably just as good as it was before. If anything, it's probably better, because it didn't get hit by the bannings at all. And Smugglers are, and Emrakul and Smuggler's Copter are two really powerful cards, so. Black, 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 green. Alright, so. Utopia Sprawl the Forest on black. Fire up Treetop Village. Get in for 5-ish. Ooh, Barl is a good call, too. Barl is a really sweet combo, having a Goblin Electromancer type effect. Do I think that Storm can still function without Gitaxian Probe? If there's one thing we've learned about Storm in Modern is people will keep playing it, no matter what. So I think it will. I mean, it's not a tier deck right now anyway, but I think that it'll still be roughly as playable as it is now. So let's go attacking. Man, Liliana is so good. Hey, what's up, OKM Panda? We are playing a bit of Rockcloud, a rocky Death Cloud deck. Opponent's down to 1 land. They have removal? Spatial Contortion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he can't actually Death Cloud for lethal. Well, let's just Death Cloud X1, I think, is fine. Get rid of our opponent's last land. Because I want to keep ticking up Liliana. So, Death Cloud X1. We'll sack the Swamp. Opponent sacks. Wow, we're getting pretty close to a flawless victory. I don't think we need to draw an Abrupt Decay. Oh, no! They drew an island. Flawless victory off the table. Well, I guess we can just win with Treetop Village. Yeah, the deck is pretty sweet. It's not really heavily in on Death Cloud, but it does use Death Cloud. Take it up. Get in with Treetop Village, and now we're just kind of going through the motions of this beatdown. Down to 2, pass the turn. Oh, awesome, Thelen. Good luck with Budget Death Cloud. That deck is pretty fun to play, too. I really enjoy it. Treetop, swing, and we got there. Sweet. Well, that went pretty good against Tron, and that was pre-board. Little does our opponent know, whoever built this deck did not want to lose to Tron. They are overloaded with Fulminator Mages, so, oh man, I cannot wait until the Against the Odds go live. The match that I'm so excited about is against Tron, and it is so good. I don't know if I've ever been so happy with a match against Tron. Oh my lord. So good. Oh, I'm still happy about it, and I played it yesterday, and I'm still just like giddy with how sweet that match was. Alright, so I would definitely bring in Fulminator Mages like crazy. What else are we doing, or what are we going down? I didn't spoil anything. I just said that match is awesome, and you gotta watch it. The winning card for Against the Odds, which is public, you can look it up if you want to, is Quest for Ula's Temple. Quest for Ula's Temple Week. Dragon Killa 08, welcome to the Fishbone. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, probably going on a couple of Abrupt Decays. Probably something, well, maybe let's leave Thoughtseize over Inquisition. Something like this. Probably seems alright. Maybe. Yeah, this list is pretty sweet. I didn't build this one. Someone played it in the mocks, but it's definitely sweet. I played that Leviathan that bounces everything, didn't you? Maybe. That could be a thing that I would play. There are One, two, three. There are 3 creatures that meet the requirements for Quest for Ula's Temple to get put on the battlefield for free. So Kraken, Leviathan, Octopuses, Serpents, 3 of those. How do I think green-red energy, and we're going to mulligan this one lander. How do I think green-red energy is impacted by the bannings? If anything, it might get better. It's a deck that doesn't care about any of the ban cards, and not getting Emerald on turn 4 probably makes it slightly better. Actually, when I was looking over the list of old decks after the bannings, one of the things that popped into my head was, I think there's a reasonable chance that, not counting Ether Revolt, because we haven't really seen that yet, but out of the old decks, Green-Red Energy might just be like the best deck. If there wasn't a new set entering the format, I would probably put my money on Green-Red Energy being maybe the best deck in Standard moving forward. Of course, that's not going to play out in practice because Ether Revolt's going to shake things up, but it's worth noting. What's my favorite card in Standard counting Ether Revolt? That's a good question. Favorite card in Standard? I might have to stick with Metallurgic Summonings. That's just kind of right up my alley. So I'm probably going to have to stick with that. Alright, let's crack Windswept Teeth. Get an Overgrown Tomb. I'm also very interested in some of the Ether Revolt cards, though. Like, alright, let's Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Get a Forest. Utopia Sprawler Forest on black. And then just Liliana the Veil, I think. And we'll just kill the Solemn. What's a good finisher to replace Emrakul and Green-Black Delirium? So I think the deck will just trend more aggressive. Probably play more Verdurous Gear Hulks and be kind of the beatdowny type deck. Hey, what's up, 595024113? Oh, I do love Paradox Engine. I do. Gonti's Ether Heart, the paradoxical... no, not paradoxical. The blue one that you put on clue tokens and win the game. I like that one too. So let's tick up Liliana. Discard Liliana. And then just play a... I think we're going to go with Eternal Witness. See if this gets countered. Opponent discarded a Mindslaver, which they can get back eventually. Opponent is going to counter by the looks. Alright, there's a Condescend. That means our opponent can't search up a land here, at least. Will Green-Black Delirium play the new Hardened Scale Snake and the new Bob? So, I doubt the new Bob, because I don't think they make enough energy. You really want a constant source of energy for that card to be really good. The Counter Snake, I guess it depends. If they are playing Nissas and Verdurous Gear Hulks, potentially. If they're not, I'm a little more skeptical. Well, let's tick up Liliana. Discard a Courser of Crewfix. Opponent discards Snapcaster. Let's try to play a Garrick. Does their opponent have more counters? They do. Oh, it's a Thirst. That's good. So now we get to untap our lands with Garrick, and then kill one of our opponent's lands with Fulminator Mage to make sure they stay off Tron. And then we can hopefully just take over the game with our Planeswalkers. I plan on making a mechanized production deck with Mimic and Animation Module. That is a sweet combo, the Thopter Sword-esque combo. Thoughts on Aetherflux combo decks? Oh, wait. They have a counter for 1 mana? Oh, they're going to Condescend X 0? Yes, we will pay 0 for Condescend. I am surprised our opponent condescended X0. That does not seem worth it. So we get a Garrick, untap 2 lands, and then we Fulminator Mage, kill, power plant, I guess, and pass the turn. What's my favorite card of all time? Apart from Balduvian Shaman, Stasis, of course. Ooh, that's a Death Cloud. Well, I think 1, 2, 3. I think we're gonna discard Death Cloud here, so we can take up Liliana, discard Death Cloud. This actually works out really well. Then we get, oh, that was an Ugin in hand. Tap our lands. Play Eternal Witness. Get back our Fulminator Mage combo. Now we're like green-black land destruction. Untap 2 lands. Play Fulminator Mage. The deck is actually kind of expensive because of Liliana's. I think it's like over $1,000. That said, if you were interested in a deck of this style, we played a budget green-black Death Cloud list that was actually pretty sweet. So I would look towards that if you want to play something that's similar, although not exactly the same. All right, let's Utopia Sprawl. We might as well. We're gonna have to discard it anyway. Yes, but the good news is I would be shocked if we don't get a reprint in Eternal Masters. Literally shocked. It's like if you had to, if I had to pick the one card I think is most likely to be in Eternal Masters 2017, it would probably be Liliana. So that's the good news. Maybe Snapcaster would be in the conversation, but it's right up there. What do I think about the Wandering Fumarole Crackdown Construct combo? I think it could be good because it's pretty easy to slot into a deck. Wandering Fumarole's really easy to play because it's the kind of card you want to play anyway. So that's the upside. Jeez, we will just keep Fulminator Maging. So I think it could be good for that reason. Whether it's like the focal point of a deck, the problem is Consulate Crackdown isn't that great on its own. It's a little overcosted, I guess, for what it actually does. So that's the thing I guess I'd be worried about, but I could definitely imagine that it shows up in Standard. I think that the Splinter Twin combo is the best of the numerous combos from Ether Evil. Since I played Twin in Modern, I'm going to try to build it in Standard. That's a good plan. I could imagine that it would actually show up. That would be pretty funny, but I don't think it's impossible that we find out Gitaxian Probe is in Modern Masters 2017. The Splinter Twin combo in Standard is Saheeli Rai and Felidar Guardian. Allows you to keep blinking the Saheeli Rai with the Felidar Guardian, make copy of the Felidar Guardian, blink the Saheeli Rai, etc., etc. I live in Los Angeles. There's already 3 local game stores around me that have Frontier tournaments. Got first place with my Abzan mid-range in Frontier a few days ago. That's awesome. I mean, in Frontier, I'm amazed. Just in the past week, we've seen a lot of support from big sites. Like Channel Fireball was running deck techs all week for it, so it seems like it's kind of catching on. It was interesting to hear Marrow say that he doesn't think the card pool is right, because that's kind of what my guess was, that we would have a Frontier-like format, but the actual card pool would not be exactly the same. And Marrow seemed to suggest that it would start after where it starts now, and not have, at least in his mind. He says lots of things on the blog, so it's not like the official stance of... not the official stance of Wizards as a company or anything, but it was interesting that he suggested that. My theory is they banned Git Pro because they didn't have it in Modern Masters 2017. They needed an excuse. It could be. What do I think about Heroic in Frontier? I think you could build it. Is Modern going to change with these bannings? Do you think Modern Meta is going to make mid-range control decks much better with the printing of Fatal Push and Yahani's expertise? Yes, I think so. Count Coco Fang, 3 months in a row. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber or resubscriber. I lost my place now. I forgot what we were talking about. What were we talking about? Oh, I think Fatal Push is a big deal for control decks in Modern. Yahani's expertise, I'm not convinced that that's going to be a huge deal, but you never know. Whale Messiah, as far as control decks, I don't think that's super exciting for control decks, but maybe Ancestral Visions is good enough. So Whale Messiah, welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our resubscriber. Do I think the Modern meta will actually shift? I think it'll shift a little bit. I don't think this is a huge, major, like, seismic shift, but I think we will see changes. I think the fast, aggressive, creature-based combo decks, the Become Immense decks, get a bit worse, which is going to make the control decks, especially combined with Fatal Push, a bit better. Any upgrades for the Ever After Reanimator deck? Off the top of my head, not really. What's up, Prideful Pelican? Going well. Do I think MTG realizes they were creating another Splinter Twin? That's a really interesting question. Anemic Dust, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back on Thursday with another one. You can send me stuff at saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. Oh, yes, by the way, I should say this now while everyone's here. So Thursday's stream is normal, but then next week, I'm actually going on vacation. So there will be no streams next week. We'll see. I might... it's possible there's just a random stream while I'm on vacation if I'm feeling like streaming. But vacation next week, so the regularly scheduled streams will not be happening. I'm going to pre-record some content, so we're still going to have Against the Odds and Budget Magic, so that stuff's still going to be happening, but for just for next week, and then we'll be back to the normal schedule after that. I do! One of the perks of being the content manager at MTG Goldfish is I get vacation, so... I don't know, I don't even know if I'll actually do anything ooh, Merfolk, eh? I don't even know if I'll actually do anything super crazy, but as far as, like, traveling long ways or something, but it'll be nice to just take a week to refresh and kind of boot up. And then I think all the videos will hopefully be changing over to 1080 when I get back from vacation. So I'm excited for that, switching to 1080p. Geez, double Mutavault. So yeah, hopefully we'll see how much content I can get done before I actually go on vacation. Oh, I know, I am super lucky. I have one of the greatest jobs that you could even imagine, I believe. We'll take the Lord. Play Treetop Village, pass the turn. This is awkward if we just get beaten down by Mutavaults. Do I think that Zendikar Fetches could reasonably be reprinted in Modern Masters 2017? I mean, it's possible. Is it likely? Probably not super likely. This is not going as well as I was hoping. I think we need to Liliana here. We're going to take it down. Our opponent's going to flash in this bad thing to sacrifice with Ether Vial. The big problem here is these Mutavaults. We just don't have Mutavault answers at the moment, which means we can't really... Cavern of Souls is a likely reprint. Oh, no. The two things, Jay Zoller. Well, I did want to mention that, but it was the art-based stuff. So emote suggestions and token suggestions. Those were the two things that I wanted to make sure to talk about. Any of you guys listen to the Shins? I haven't listened to the Shins in a while, but yes, I do know the Shins. I think that's it. Because we'll have to chump. And let's Inquisition. See our opponent's last card. Just a land. Okay, that was not good. Any chance that... Hey, Goldfish, anything green Stompy has a chance in Standard with the new one-drop elephant thing? Yeah, I think there's a chance that we see that. So I think we want another Damnation. Maybe Scavenging Oozes to get quicker. What do we want here? What is the answer? Definitely another Damnation. We want removal. We're actually not that removal heavy. So if I cast Yahani's Expertise and cast a creature off of it, will the creature enter the battlefield before or after the -3? I believe that the effect happens first, because there's some cool tricks you can do with like Borrow's Expertise. You can bounce one of your own creatures and then use the second half of the card to put it back into play. So I believe that it will resolve afterwards. Do I think that Brain the Jar might see a raise with the new Expertise spells? Free stuff all around. I think it gets more playable to some extent. The question will be, is it just outdone by the Expertises? And maybe people don't even play Brain in the Jar because they just have all the Expertises. I don't know if it's worth it. Fulminator does get Mute to Vault. We have a couple Tech Edges, which also get it. I'm not sure why we're on Tech Edge instead of Ghost Quarter. Everyone plays Voltron for Commander Clash. What do I think about the bans? Well, I talked about it a little bit earlier. I think they make Standard better. I guess the TLDR is, I think they make Standard better. It'll be more fun. I'm even more excited to brew it. However, the fact that we had Standard bannings is a bit concerning. It makes me worried that people are going to lose confidence with their cards dropping in price and stuff like that. So I think it's a mixed feeling things. As far as gameplay, I think it's great. For other reasons, not so great. And I'm very happy about the modern bans. I don't think the Dredge ban is impactful, but I think it's a fine banning. And I would have rather seen them ban Stinkweed as well. But apparently they just don't want to hurt the deck too much. So I don't think it's super impactful, but I'm fine with it. And Gitaxian Probe, I think, actually makes the format better as well. Alright, let's Cragvern Catacombs. Get a Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. We are drawing the lands. So many lands. Play Windswept Heath, Bastard. Way more lands than we ever could possibly want. I guess I shouldn't have kept this hand, actually. Hey Seth, will you make more awesome tokens in the future? The ones created are awesome. It would be cool to have more of those. Yeah, we were just talking about it, actually. That's something that's in the works. So if you have suggestions for what you'd like to see in tokens, make sure to let me know, because we are going to be making more. Dak! You gotta be kidding. Oh, really? And now we're going to Eternal Witness back a land so we can chump block. Do you think it's possible the ulterior motive for the standard bans is to scare the market, hoping that prices drop on all standard cards across the board permanently? I don't think... Why I think that Wizards would like cards to be cheaper to some extent. I don't think shaking confidence in their game and potentially scaring people away from playing Magic altogether is the way they would want to go about it. So I don't believe so. Just because you got to remember that Wizards' #1 goal over everything else is to make money, and it seems like that goal works directly opposite making money. Come on. No! We don't even have lands left to fetch, deck. What are you doing to us? This is the worst. This is the worst. Oh my lord. Well, it feels like our Scoops chest opportunities are slipping away. We're even fetching frantically to try to get cards out of our deck. Opponent looks like they're leaving up counters now. Maelstrom Pulse isn't great. But I guess we might as well cast it because we got to do something. Deck Emote is a good one. I do like that one as well. Yep, our opponent was holding up the counter. Magical Sausage Cat, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big Scoops cheer for our new subscriber. I mean, I guess maybe I shouldn't have kept the hand. Oh, and our opponent is good at drawing 2 Mutavaults. They've done that every single game as well. Well, there's Merfolk Regery, which is a huge blowout. So we need to try to Murderous Cut the Regery, exiling everything in our graveyard. See if our opponent double sacks Curse Catchers. If they do, at least it saves us a bunch of damage. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, this is the worst. Damnation? Nope. Alright. Good game. I mean, the hand was land heavy going into it, so I think it's keepable though. I don't know. So we are 2-2, and we have to scrape out a win in this round to just get a chest at all. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm used to it, having bad luck. How do I see black-green Tron sitting in the modern format coming up? I think Tron in general gets a bit better. I don't know about black-green Tron in specific, but I think the modern bannings make Tron a little bit better than it was before. Hurting some of Tron's worst matchups. Alright, let's lead on Inquisition, see what we're up against. Yeah, it seems likely that we will be able to... Seems likely that we will be able to play contingency plans? Whoa. To play Momir tonight. Work our way through the Momir list. This league has been going super fast somehow. How good do I think the new Safi combo is? It might get better if Dredge gets worse. I think the combo itself is good. The question's going to be, are people just packing a ton of graveyard hate? Because that's kind of driven the Malira combo, Abzan Company, down in the format a bit. So if that's still an issue where everyone's playing Graveyard Hate to beat Dredge, then that's going to hold back the combo. On the other hand, if that's not a problem and Dredge kind of gets worse with the banning, then we're probably fine. It's possible. We might get in 2 games of Momir tonight. We've played every match. Our matches have been going really fast today for some reason. I don't know why. Usually they take much longer than this. Oh, thank you for being awesome, V-Ball H, Ohio, I guess. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. 2 months in a row, big scoops here for our resubscriber. We will grab a Overgrown Tomb here. Our life total is not super relevant in this matchup. Play a Garrick. Untap 2 lands. We're just going to get a threat down. We can actually close out this game pretty quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll get Inquisition just in case. Because we can just turn 4 Grave Titan, turn 5 Overrun Garrick. Fearless Joe 20, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. I do like the idea of a Blood Moon emote. Yeah, I think getting back Inquisition's the wisest thing. There's the Prism for our opponent. A land? Alright, there's a land. That makes it easy. So we get to Inquisition. Anticipate contingency plan spoils of the vault ad nauseum. So we just got to take Angel's Grace, I believe, and just try to get this kill done as soon as possible. Crackfern Catacombs, get a Swamp. We're actually going to get down a Grave Titan. Last match of our league, so it took all league, but we finally got there. Alright, there's Grave Titan. And this really puts our opponent to the test, because we can trample everything with Garrick next turn. So maybe we'll get that one chest after all. Do I have music on in the background? I do. It's pretty quiet, but I do have some music on in the background. Alright, Lotus Bloom is now suspended. Wait. Oh. Okay. Well, we still could die here, then. It's not impossible. I actually didn't realize that they had... Really? I hadn't even thought about the Lotus Bloom, because we thought sees Lotus Bloom on turn 1, so our opponent apparently just peeled one off the top the very next turn. You know, I didn't notice, because I would have been complaining about it if I had. And they top-decked Angel's Grace? Oh! Oh, we are so unlucky. If you ever want to see unluckiness, I mean, knowing Angel's Grace was there wouldn't have changed anything, but that was twice in 4 turns that we thought seized a card, and our opponent drew it the next turn. 2 times in the same game. That's pretty bad when it happens once in, like, an entire league, and they didn't have 2 Angel's Graces in hand. And when they... Didn't they name Oh, okay. Alright. For some reason I saw that Phyrexian Unlife, and I thought they named Phyrexian Unlife for some reason. Alright, bring in more discard. And we don't actually have much to fight this matchup. Now what? We might be... Yeah, I'm not a big fan of... Once Angel's Grace is to that point, there's really no... Or ad nauseum, there's really no reason to make them play it out. We're literally just hoping for, I guess, like, a misclick. That they just, like, hit the wrong button. Quite literally. So... I don't like playing, trying to play to that out for some reason. Feels weird. If it's like eggs or lantern control or something where you're likely, or even storm, where you're likely to lose but it's not 100%, then I'll usually keep playing. But if it's a literal 100%, you can't win, I usually scoop. You really think Fulminator Mage? They have so much artifact removal, though. Like, we can bring in Fulminator mages, and our opponent can still just go off with Angel's Graces. Hey, see ya, cool guy. Yep, we'll be back on Thursday for another one. Well, even if we lose, at least we're going to get to play some Momir. Oh, man. 3 Inquisitions would be awesome, but that's not a land that does things. Alright, we can try this. Alright, another Thoughtseize. Things are actually not shaping up as much as we want. Oh, dear. So if we Thoughtseize here, we gotta shuffle away the other Thoughtseize. Do I really think Aetherborn can be a tier 1 deck in Standard? No. No, no, no. I mean, I think Aetherborn cards might be played in tier 1 decks. Like, Yahani could be good in an Aristocrats deck, but I don't think there's enough Aetherborn to be good. We could play it in maybe Budget Magic or Against the Odds. I think that's a possibility, but beyond that, I think it's unlikely that Aetherborn really see play as a tribe. There's just not enough of them. The problem with waiting is our opponent gets to keep Lotus Bloom. Well, I guess in this scenario, we could take Ad Nauseam, because they have so much mana. So we'll take Ad Nauseam, pass the turn. The problem with waiting, though, is if we wait until turn 2, then our opponent gets to suspend a Ad Nauseam. Or suspend a Lotus Bloom. So I think it's worth Thoughtseizing on turn 1 just for that reason alone. Alright, Lotus Bloom suspended. Our opponent has essentially infinite mana. They scryed to the bottom. Well, we get to Utopia Sprawl. We drew another land, unfortunately. Utopia Sprawl our land. Play Treetop Village. Pass the turn. The only good news is we get to start attacking our opponent's hand with Liliana. Well, we ended up taking Ad Nauseam because our opponent's hand was like 100% mana. But normally, turn 1, it's important because you can get rid of the Lotus Bloom. Or at least it gives you the option to, if that's something that matters. Well, play Utopia Sprawl. On black, I guess. Play Liliana. Play Twilight Mire. And take up Liliana. So pressuring our opponent's hand is very good here. That is helpful. Opponent discards a land. An ugly, ugly land. Our opponent deserves to lose for not playing more beautiful basic lands. What do I think of Ensoul Artifact combo with Ornithopter, and what archetype can be made of this combo? So I'm assuming we're talking in Modern? Or the new Ensouled Artifact, the blue-black one, maybe? I guess you just play an artifact, like an aggressive artifact deck. I would look towards the ones they played a couple years ago at the Pro Tour. That one had Darksteel Citadel, which made it really powerful. But something like that, where you're playing, you really want like one-drop artifacts that you can back up with something. Well, we can't really double discard because we can't have 2 Lilianas on the battlefield at the same time. So to take up the first one, we'd have to discard the second one. I guess we could have waited a turn and double discard, but then we're skipping a turn of discarding, so we're not really getting more discard out of it. Alright, opponent passes. We draw a land, play a land, take up Liliana. Are we dead? Discards Asymmean Spirit Guide. Well, we're not dead yet, thankfully. I might as well crack this. Get a forest. Beat in with our Treetop Village. Yes, I think they got to try to avoid standard bannings for a bit at this point. So opponent's down to 14, pass the turn. I think they got the mana, right? White, black, black, black. They are maybe getting rid of the spirit guides is a problem. Should we sacrifice? Yeah, that's a question. Do we ultimate here? Or we take up one more turn and we get to keep Liliana around? Oscar Minolov, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Thank you for all the support. Did something pretty silly in EDH the other day, thought you'd appreciate. I was playing Black White Life Gain, accidentally discovered Exquisite Blood plus Etherflux Swordflower means you can kill everyone as long as you have 51 life. Oh, that is a sweet combo. I hadn't even thought of that. Oh, man. I see more keeps than ultimates. Man, if we lose because of this, I'm going to cry. Windswept Teeth. Take up Liliana. Alright, we'll go risky. Angel's Grace discarded. Get in with Treetop Village. And pass the turn. Hopefully we live and can ultimate next turn, and then we should win. Am I going to do a Brewer's Minute for Modern? About something in specific? We've done Brewer's Minutes focused on Modern plenty of times in the past, but if you have a specific idea of something to cover, definitely let me know, and I can look into it. Contingency plans. Alright, so we're not losing this turn. So ad nauseum, the idea is our opponent's going to cast an Angel's Grace or a Phyrexian Unlife, which basically makes it so when our opponent resolves ad nauseum, they can literally draw their entire deck because they don't die from going below 0 life. Ad nauseum makes you lose life. Reveal cards from the top of your library. Put them in your hand. You can do that as many times as you want, but you lose life equal to the converted mana cost. Well, Angel's Grace makes it so you can't die that turn. Phyrexian Unlife makes it so you don't lose the game for having 0 less life. So you draw your entire deck, and then you exile a couple of Simian Spirit Guides, and use something like Lightning Storm to actually finish off the game. Sometimes Laboratory Maniac. There's a couple of different finishers, but that's the main combo, is being able to draw your entire deck, and once you draw your entire deck, you should be able to find a way to win. Ooh, I actually like this draw. So let's Eternal Witness. So we get to Eternal Witness for Thoughtseize and then Ultimate Liliana. So Thoughtseize. Oh man, our opponent's drawing their combo pieces. Lightning Storm. I guess we just take Angel's Grace. Ultimate Liliana. And I think we just go Lotus Bloom versus. Not the greatest. They likely have 2 win conditions. Would I play Opt in Modern if it was reprinted? Probably. I mean, it's probably not as good as Serum Visions, but maybe. I'd have to think about the comparison, but I think it would be at least close to playable. So get in for 3. I don't think they can get it back from their graveyard, but I would be surprised if they literally had 0 win conditions. Alright, there's a Prism. So our opponent got their mana back. Well, now we'll Inquisition. So we can take the Lightnings. Actually, I don't even think we take this. Spirit Guide's a blocker. Yeah, let's take Spirit Guide. I think this is fine. Mr. Sprinkles TV, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for the subscription. Big Scoops here for our resubscriber. 2 months in a row says, thank you for all the great content. Keep the jank coming. Well, thank you for the subscription. And, alright. Okay, we have a chance. We have a chance. We have one game. It all comes down to this game for a treasure chest. This is the only game that matters. If we can win this, we get to crack one chest, which will likely hold a Rishin import, of course, because you know how lucky I am. So one game for the chest. Otherwise, we get nothing. We lose our 8 ticks. Move on to a game of Momir or 2. So our deck is trying to basically play good discard and removal to kind of keep our opponent in check, ramp into some powerful mid-game plays like Liliana, Garruk Wildspeaker, and then use Deathcloud to kind of sacrifice everything and win the game. Makes everyone basically lose everything, except since we have Utopia Sprawls and Garruks and stuff like that, it hurts us less than it hurts our opponent. Or we can just Grave Titan or Tasigur or something, so it's reasonable. What do I think the best top-end creature in Standard is with the new banning of Emrakul? Why do we have a Kitchen Finks? Oh, a Kitchen Finks was in our main deck, okay. We haven't seen a Kitchen Finks all day. It's reasonably competitive. It plays fairly well in a Mox tournament, Magic Online Championship tournament. I think it went 6-2. So I don't know if it's tier 1 or anything, but I think it's a pretty reasonable fun deck. Yeah, I'm about due for a Crucible of the Spirit Dragon. We don't really have any interaction here, unfortunately. Yeah, we're gonna mulligan. Okay. I think we gotta put Treetop Village to the bottom. We need black mana if we're gonna draw mana. So we can fight our opponent's mana a little bit with our Nature's Claim and Abrupt Decay. And there's a Lotus Bloom. Well, let's Windswept Teeth. Crack Windswept Teeth. And again, this matchup, our life total is really not relevant. Our opponent's either going to kill us from essentially whatever life total we happen to be at, or they're not going to kill us at all. Deathcloud could be good here. It's possible. It's possible that Deathcloud's going to be helpful. There's a Swamp. There's Anticipate. I almost want to just draw more ramp. If we can Deathcloud away our opponent's land in hand, that should really work in our favor. With the bannings, what do you think on investing some money in those cards? So Gitaxian Probe and the modern cards, no. The standard cards, definitely wait for the price to decline as much as possible. But if you wait for the price to decline, it could be a wise choice to invest. Black. Alright, let's set this on green, I think. Play a Swamp. Pass the turn. So we can actually Deathcloud X2 next turn. I don't know if that's good enough. See what our opponent does. Oh, I mean, if you buy Emrakul at $5, then yes, I think you should do it. I was seeing the prices online, it's still like 15 to 20 range. If it's in that range, then I'm definitely waiting. I mean, online, Smuggler's Copter is like 60 cents. You might as well pick it up. Misty Rainforest. Alright, play Misty, pass the turn. So we're gonna kill our opponent's Lotus Bloom on their upstep. Upkeep. Hopefully not lose on their upkeep. So there's a Lotus Bloom coming down. So we cracked this. Get an Overgrown Tomb untapped. And just Nature's Claim. So this isn't a guaranteed win. They could still have Angel's Grace, crack it ad nauseum, just win the game. But this cuts out on a lot of their outs. Of having, like, Phyrexian Unlife and stuff like that. Do I think the new Marvel decks might pick up Kozilek in Emrakul's place? Not sold on Kozilek, honestly. Maybe, but I'm kind of guessing no. Maybe Worldbreaker or something else in that slot, but I definitely Ulamog. Brewer's Minute on choosing the modern sideboard. Ooh, I've been playing modern mono red goblin token deck. I have no experience using cards for the sideboard. What methods you determine. I think that's a really cool idea for a Brewer's Minute. I could definitely see doing that. Do a Seance deck. Sweet. That could be fun. Opponent gets their ad nauseum. And passes. Well, let's play Garrick. Untap, 2 target lands. Man, we might actually get the Deathcloud win for the treasure chest. Play Tech Edge. And just kill the Temple or City of Brass? I guess. Should I just Deathcloud? 1, 2, 3. We still leave a land behind, though. Deathcloud them down to 1 lands? We could. It could also get countered. Well, we'd cloud them down to 1 land. If we do it next turn with Deathcloud, I think I'm going to wait till next turn. I think it's better to wait 1 more turn with Deathcloud. This gives our opponent a chance to tap out for something. And it leaves up Abrupt Decay to deal with any artifact mana they play here. So I like this one better. I don't think we're going to die with our opponent at 3 mana. It's pretty unlikely. Another Garrick. Well, now we're going to go for it. If our opponent can counter, they can counter. Yeah, Gitaxian Probe would be sweet here. I guess we'll go X4. In case they have like a Spell Pierce, maybe? If this resolves, Oh, Swan Song. All right. Yep. Swan Song does keep our opponent alive. Well, now we want to draw something big. There's a prism. Well, thankfully we can abrupt decay that. Come on, something big. Or just discard. Either one. Verdant Catacombs, not even close to what we were hoping for. So make a beast. Play Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Get an Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Play another Garrick. Keep the new Garrick. Take down Garrick. Make another beast. Get in for 2. Time to go, Swan Beats. Yeah, our opponent had a Swan Song to counter it. And now we gotta kill this Prism. Pass the turn. Oh, this could be so close. If we keep our opponent off mana... Oh, no. Temple. Leaves on top. Oh, that means land. We draw a pretty bad Abrupt Decay. Well, let's get in. Three, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, make another beast. Pass the turn. Come on, Swan! Get there! Our opponent... Oh, yeah, there's a land. So we could be dead as soon as now. Yup. Oh, there it is. They have the Spirit Guide, have the combo, and that's the game. Oh, man. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. Yikes. Well, no treasure chest tonight. Unfortunately. Opponent draws their entire deck. Man, this Submerged Boneyard. This is a... Gotta be what you'd consider a slightly less than optimal build of Ad Nauseam. Yes, definitely. Meandering River... And it doesn't look like they even had a backup plan. Alright. Anyway, that's the game. Yup. Well, I guess that's how it goes sometimes. We have had some not great running. So they just exile Simian Spirit Guides is how they do it. Yeah, they have 4 Simian Spirit Guides, so they just exile 3 Simian Spirit Guides and do it. So, well, the deck seemed alright. It was good in matchups, in some matchups, not very good in other matchups. It is a little lacking in pressure, and one of the things that's kind of... I don't know. I'm not sure I like about the deck is... It's kind of in the middle. Like, I'm not sure what it is. If you're going to be a green-black value deck, I wonder if you should probably be... Oh, they just exile all their Simian Spirit Guides, and then they use Lightning Lightning Rift? Lightning something. Lightning Axe? I can't think of the name of it. A Lightning Storm! They use Lightning Storm, which lets you discard lands to deal damage. So they cast Lightning Storm, lets you discard any number of lands to deal extra damage. So they just discard their all the lands that they drew from the Ad Nauseam to win. So I think it feels weird because if you're going to be like a aggro-y green black deck or like a mid-range deck, it feels really strange to not have Tarmogoyf. And it's not really a budget choice because you're playing Lilianas and stuff. So it feels like maybe it's odd in that sense, but then if you're playing a Deathcloud deck, it's kind of a little lacking in ramp, and you don't have many Deathclouds. You only have 2 Deathclouds, so you're not guaranteed to have one when you want it. So it's an interesting build. In game 1, they only had 2 left, didn't they? So I would have won. I think game 1, our opponent just had oodles and oodles of mana. Because they can use their lands or their artifacts to cast it too. So I think that's how game 1 was, but I'm not 100% sure. Could we have against odds pull for ultimatums? Yeah, we could probably do that. All right, give me 1 second to grab a drink, and we will close out our stream tonight with maybe 2 games of Momir. So let's see, top of the list, Timothy. You were at the top of the list. Timothy 5673. So if you're here, you get first dibs. You can send me a challenge. And then if we get to a second game or Timothy is not around, it looks like Julian Miles is on the top of the list if you're up for playing. So send me the challenge if you're at the top of the list. I will be right back in just 1 second. Gotta grab a drink, and then it's Momir time. Alright, I'm back. Pulling up the Momir overlay, and it is time for the traditional Momir match. Alright, see you, awesome dude. Have a good night. See you on Thursday. Thursday at 6. Hopefully we get some treasure chests on Thursday. We're due. Etherwind Basker is sweet. I'm not sure it's like good, but it is a really cool card. I just got some water. Healthy water. Alright, so we'll lead on a swamp. Pass the turn. Now that Emrakul is banned, what do I think of Etherwind Basker? So, oh man, maybe? Oh, that would be crazy if Etherwind Basker was good enough for... Alright, I have hope. 5-0 on Thursday. I don't know what we're playing. It might be an instant deck because we didn't play an instant deck today. So I gotta find a good instant deck deck. Ooh, speaking of energy, we have the Eddy Trail Hawk. Gets us 2 energy. Eddie Tail Hawk, like Hulk Hogan. Gets us 2 energy. When it attacks, we can pay 1, give another creature flying. So it's not great, but it's fine. Opponent gets Arcbound Slith. When it deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So we probably don't want to get hit by that. So Swamp Goo. Yeah, I'm not convinced that Basker is playable. It can potentially hit for a ton of damage, but I don't know. Gotta reevaluate everything now that Emrakul is gone. Because I'm 100% sure it wasn't playable with Emrakul around. With Emrakul, oh no, Infect. With Emrakul gone, definitely worth reevaluating to see if maybe. A lot of people are saying that Ulamog can replace Emrakul, but Emrakul's main strength is that you just hardcast it. Yeah, so you can do that with Basker, but not with Ulamog. The thing is, Basker, though, is it very good? That's the problem. I mean, there's lots of things that you can cast, but are those things actually good? Discard a card gains protection from the color of our choice until end of turn. And it's a 2/3, so it can stop Rotwolf, and it has First Strike, which is actually pretty relevant. I don't know who Jake is, but nice black hair. Good to see ya. I think someone was writing some freaky fan fiction, asking about food I liked and stuff. Bibliography. There was, oh man, I don't know what happened to this person, but back around when I first started writing at Goldfish, so a while ago now. Oh, Sliver Hive Lord! Come on, more slivers. Other black creatures get -1, -1. A little small because of that. I guess we can get in with our flyer. There was someone that was kind of writing fan fiction in the comments to articles, though. A long time ago. It would be like Budget Magic, and they would like write a story that involved me somehow in the Budget Magic deck and like the characters in the deck and stuff. Saberclaw Golem. It was pretty interesting. I haven't seen him in a long time, so I don't know what happened to the writer, but. Opponent passes. Well, let's play a mountain. And we get a 6-drop. Ooh, Harvester of Souls when another non-token creature dies. Can draw a card. That's a little less exciting than you'd think, because even though they don't look like it, all of these things are technically tokens. How does Momir work? Do you pick the cards your avatar puts into play or something, or is it from any Magic set? So, yes, it's completely random. You pay an amount of mana, and you get a random creature with that converted mana cost. So it can be any creature from any Magic set with that converted mana cost. Opponent gets Ramses Overdark. Not too scary. Oh, thank you for the host, Miss Brocate. How goes it tonight? Alright, play a Swamp. Make a 7. Come on, Phage. I'm getting to the point where I want to hit Phage now because I've never done it. Ever. Ooh. When Butcher another creature you control dies, each opponent sacks a creature. That's pretty good. I guess we just keep getting in with our Hawk. Can you get Momir in Momir? Well, you can't get the Avatar, but yes, you can get Momir Vig Simic Visionary. Any card from any Magic set. Thank you, Joe ABL, for the host. Opponent. Do I think Jeskai Mentor stays good in Modern? Ooh. Well, our opponent's probably going to let that die. Oh, 3-3 for 7 with this Stronghold Overseer out. So I think Jeskai Mentor has a shot of staying around. It's not nearly as dependent on Gitaxian Probe as some of the other decks. Gitaxian Probe is a good card in the deck, but it's not like 100% built around it, I don't think. Oh, man. Meosian. 4-1. Well, let's just get in with our flyers. We're hitting so many black creatures that are getting wrecked by this Stronghold Taskmaster. But thankfully our opponent's not hitting flyers. Our opponent can kill one of our things, but it doesn't even benefit them that much. -3, +3, -2. So they can kill, I guess they can kill our Hawk on the way out the door. But they're going to have to... Oh. Oh, that's better than I thought. I thought you had to pay that mana no matter what. Now, that's actually not that horrible then, the minion of Tevis Shez. That's actually decent. I put a Karlov list with Exquisite Blood, Aetherflux Reservoir combo online. Is it cool if I share the list? Yeah, go for it. Yeah, okay. For some reason I thought that it, yeah, I guess I just did not read that card very well. Alright, opponent kills our flyer, has to sack a creature, thanks to Butcher. Well, we're kind of locked out of attacking now. Because I kind of want the Sliver to play defense. I mean, we could attack with it, but I don't even know if it's worth it. I kind of want, yeah, I kind of want to block with it. Alright. Well, no one's hit anything insane yet. The best creature hit is this minion, I guess. There's something pretty insane. Hellkite Overlord. Although... if we attack, they're just going to kill it with that spider? I guess that's fine. We don't have regeneration mana. So we'll get in. It's going to force our opponent to sack another creature, which makes it good. Yes, Leveler is auto-lose. If you hit a Leveler, you just lose the game. Actually, I'm pretty sure that Butcher is the best creature, come to think of it. That's way better. Because every time our opponent blocks, they essentially are losing 2 creatures, which makes it pretty absurd. So, pass turn. What's our opponent going to do with their minion? Oh, thank you, Resnek. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. 2 months in a row. Thank you so much for the support. Oh, no. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. This Hellkite is going to be very, very bad. Very bad. We have to hit something to deal with the Hellkite. Oh, the against odds. Oh, it has a match that's so awesome. It is Quest for Ula's Temple. Quest for Ula's Temple, of all things. Come on, Big Flyer or Excruciator. Well, I think our best bet is to go on a relatively big attack. Man, we're going to get so blown out. But we actually just need things to die. Opponent blocks. Makes our sliver smaller. Opponent blocks. Yup. Opponent blocks. Oh, is this going to get us there? 1, 2. I think our opponent's going to be down to just the Hellkite. Come on, kill the Meosian. Yep. So our opponent's got to sack a bunch of stuff. This might let us. This might let us win. Maybe. Oh, whoa! Our opponent sacked the Hellkite. Okay. I feel good about that then. That's a pretty good benchmark. If you couldn't beat Quest for Ula's Temple, it is probably a good idea to scratch it, to scrap it. Once you get a certain mana level below Emrakul, the creatures can be really bad. Yeah, that's true. Usually the 8-drops are pretty solid, though. Thoughts on the possibility Aetherflux list with SRAM and equipment or Barrel in spells? Yeah. I think either could work. I'm not sure which would be more competitive. I might... Okay, we get a Cognivore, which dies. But our opponent has to sack a creature, so I think this is actually gonna work-ish. If I could have Lightning Bolt or Counterspell reprinted in Standard, which would I pick? So, which would I personally pick? Which do I like more in Momir, 7 or 8? I usually go for 7, Julian Miles. Me personally, I would go with Counterspell. But which would be better for Standard? I don't know. As far as the health of Standard and all that stuff, maybe it's Bolt. I guess I'd have to think about it. Alright, we'll keep. What do I think of control decks in the upcoming Standard? Well, I think the life of control decks actually got a ton easier with the bannings. We'll have to see what the Ether Revolt decks bring. But generally, I think playing control is going to be easier now than it was pre-bannings. Because Emrakul, super devastating against control. Oh, man. The Spore Flower is actually pretty obnoxious. Can fizzle a lethal attack, just a fog that sits out. And Smuggler's Copter is another card that's very good against control. So I think that control's definitely improved. And Planeswalkers are way better than they were. Smuggler's Copter was so good. Ooh, destroy target blocking creature at end of combat. That's another interesting card. Makes it hard for our opponent to block. Harness the Storm with bolts and shocks. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. We did get Shock. I guess that is a real removal spell, sorta. Kind of funny how much worse it is than Lightning Bolt, but in Standard, we got to take what we can get. Here's the Karlov deck I was talking about. Oh, no. Well, I guess that's not the end of the world. 5/1/1s isn't that scary in Momir. Actually, a 4/6 unblockable is pretty sweet. That actually might just win us the game, this Haunted Phantasm. It felt bad when we first saw it, but the Karlov deck looks very sweet. I really like it. Black-White Life Gain is a fun archetype. I've played on Commander Clash before. Instant Brew, Lab Maniac on the battlefield, then Dubious Challenge to search out Leveler. Yup, that gets it done. Opponent, gain control of target creature for as long as that creature is enchanted. Our opponent loves these Enchantment Matters cards. I mean, obviously it's random, but first time catching the stream, just got into MTG this year. I've learned a lot from watching you. Well, thank you, Lord Mist 99, and welcome to the stream. What am I playing tomorrow for Commander Clash? I have not built my deck yet. I was working on it a little bit before I started streaming, but the theme is all multicolor. So every single card in the deck has to be multicolor. No, other than lands. Lands obviously are colorless, but yep, all 100% multicolor. So we'll see. Alright, opponent can't attack next turn. Stonehorn Dignitary. I really want to build a deck around Stonehorn Dignitary. It seems so sweet with blink effects. I've started a couple times, never really got there, but this card just seems so awesome with blink effects. I just want to play this and then Venser and blink it with Venser every turn. Our blue creature is a Hunted Phantasm. So it's a 4/6 that can't be blocked for only 3 mana. However, it gives our opponent 5 1/1 goblins when it enters the battlefield. Really interesting card. Opponent gets a Stormfront Rider when it enters the battlefield. Return 2 target creatures you control to your owner's hand whenever it enters the battlefield. Oh, whenever it's returned to your hand, make a 1/1 soldier. Oh, that doesn't actually do anything then. So our opponent just gets a 4/3 flyer. They can pick up 2 tokens and then get 2 tokens. Can I use cards, or do I use cards I see in Momir and Commander? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I see a card, I'm like, oh, that card's so sweet. Momir is actually a really great way to find cards, because it forces you to just look at and play with random cards. So it's really good for that. It's also really cheap, which is another benefit. For 5 mana. Oh, no! Oh, so unlucky. It's not not Phage, but it is just as game losing. Leveler exiles our entire library. Good game, Timothy. Well, we'll scoop it up. We have a new subscriber, Large Kaz. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Yes, we got leveled. Leveled. Yeah, I have hit Leveler maybe once before. Still never hit Phage. Alright, let's play first. Yeah, doing random on Gather works. Also, magiccard.info has a magic card feature, I think, or a random card feature. Thoughts on Reflector Mage being banned and possible reasoning. So it looks weird, but I believe opponent makes an Expedition Hanger Bagwalker. I believe the reasoning is that with the other bans, Wizards felt like they had to ban something from Blue-White as well. Ooh, alright, Baleful Strikes is pretty good. So I think it's that, it's not that Reflector Mage is too good right now, but that Blue-White would be too good once they ban Emrakul and Smuggler's Copter, which hits literally like every other top tier deck in the format. So that's my thinking, is it's more of a preemptive thing to keep things in line. Oh, goodness. Wow. That's a good one. Mana Dork's super good. So our opponent kind of just caught back up after whiffing on that 0 drop for some reason. Now they're actually ahead. Discard Island. If the card gets reprinted, do you get more chances at it in Momir? That I do not know. Oh, what's up, Squid Labs? Well, I hope your interviews went well. That's a good reason to miss a stream. Did you get a job? I watched it, but was curious whether it worked in Standard. If a card is reprinted, does it give you more chances? Yeah. The other things people were saying is that they thought maybe Wizards' internal testing had shown that it was too good with the combo of the Saheeli Rai and Felidar Guardian, that maybe with Reflector Mage that deck was too good. I don't know if I buy that. I'm still not 100% convinced that Wizards intentionally put that combo in the set. I mean, they may have. I like to think that Wizards didn't just accidentally print the A Splinter Twin S combo without realizing it. So I assume that they knew when it was intentional, but it does seem kind of crazy. Snowlands, no. I believe you are not allowed to play Snowlands in Momir. I'm pretty sure. Instruments do I play? A keyboard and guitar and a bit of bass. When Grotesque Hybrid deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature, can't be regenerated, discard a card, gains flying and protection from green and white until end of turn. Okay. Ooh, does each damage to each creature without flying. That's actually kind of a combo. X damage to each... Oh, to target creature without flying? Woo! Alright, that just lets us shoot down any non-flyers, which is pretty insane. Which means we're going to be able to kill that mana dork. Whenever Deathgrazer blocks or becomes blocked by a non-black creature destroy... Oh, we can't attack with that then. Alright, we'll get in with those two. If they want to discard a land, that's fine. We should start a metal band? I'm not a big metal fan, actually, but it could be fun. Maybe Spell Queller is better in the combo. That's a good point. I think it was that you could, like, Reflector Mage, Blink Reflector Mage with Guardian, copy it with Saheeli, like, all those synergies, but whenever you cast a Spirit or Arcane spell, target opponent exiles a card from his or her hand. So, just a 6/4 in Momir. Opponent gets in, or not. Alright, opponent gets in for 3. Sure. Well, play a land, I think... First off, I think we need to kill this mana dork. So, kill that. And then I guess we'll make a 4. Oh, awesome, Anus Dominator. I'm glad you like the Flying Men deck. That deck is pretty fun to play, and it seemed pretty competitive. Ooh, alright. Well, we got a lot of flyers, which is good. So hopefully we can just keep, like, shooting down our opponent's creatures, and then win with our Wake of Vultures and Frost Raptors and Baleful Strixes. Opponent. Okay, big reacher. Well, it's better than a flyer, because at least we can just kill that. So our opponent gonna go aggro. Gets in for 6. We might just block with Death Gazer. 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Yeah, let's chump for now. So we take 5, down to 16. So kill this reach thing. Make a 2-drop. Really disappointed about the Pro ban. Was about to build Blue-Red Prowess, but now the deck is bad. I have no idea what I'm going to play in Modern. Yes, that deck has definitely gotten a lot worse thanks to the banning. Sack a creature, return a creature from your graveyard to your hand, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Okay. Not super relevant. Yeah, Angry Anthony, this is a pretty unique format. It's very random. Yeah, maybe it can survive. I think it gets hurt less than... I think it gets hurt less than Death Shadow, but I also think that it does get hurt quite a bit. Alright, opponent goes in for 2. We'll take it. So let's get in with our flyers. And I think this works. Our opponent basically has to hit removal of some kind this turn, I believe. Yeah, Jeskai might have been a better name. Shame on you, the third tail. Opponent. Oh, that's a flyer. I think we still win, though. We should win through 1 flyer. Opponent. What's the best replacement? Probe, peek, or gut shot? Or peek or gut shot? Jeez, that is a tough one. Maybe gut shot, I guess. The 1 mana for peek, I'm not really sure. It might just be like Sleight of Hand. If you don't already have Sleight of Hand in your deck, that could be a possibility. So block here, shoot down, trample sliver. Even though I don't think this really matters, I think we just win regardless. Oh, good game, Timothy. Good game, good game. Well, our league went so short tonight that Julian Miles, if you want to do your Momir name and get your name off the Momir list, we can do it. We can do the double Momir, the rare double Momir night. 1 more game of Momir to close out the list. So that means Julian Miles, you're up if you want to play. So might as well do a reminder. If you're looking for tokens and stuff, make sure to check out the merch page. Also, segue, if you have any ideas, if you weren't here earlier in the stream and you have any ideas for the next batch of goldfish tokens, which we are currently trying to figure out. So if you have ideas of what you'd like to be made into tokens, make sure to let me know tonight, because we're setting up a meeting with the person that does the art, going to talk to them about it. So if you have ideas, right now on our list, because I've been writing them down, we the list from earlier in the stream, we have spirits, dragons, servos, elementals, vampires, elves, dwarves, slivers, and squirrels, along with like the seductive goat and some that are more inside jokes than probably tokens we can actually make. But Pegasus, a wall of deceit, not too good. I guess we can morph it face down and have a 2/2. That's kind of something. Yeah, so far we have done Thopter, Goblin, Zombie, and something. I don't know why I'm not thinking of the last one. Goblin, Thopter, Zombie. Ooh, alright. Opponent gets, is it Guild Mage? Just a 2/2. Energy counter, fish token. Okay, good suggestions. Also, oh yeah, that's right, Jay Zoller has a list. Actually, no, there's no back on our token, so we can't even do that. You are correct. Normally we'd be able to, but in Momir you can't. Gold token, poison counter, elementals, yes. Elemental is definitely on the list. Good luck with your homework, Fulgrith. Have a good night. We'll be back on Thursday with another stream, if you're around. Exile a creature you control other than Wormfang Drake. Well, our opponent should definitely do that. That seems... a 3/4 flyer for 3 is pretty solid in Momir. Yes, I really like surf tokens. What's up, Cracky Senior? How goes it tonight? Yeah, I know. Seductive goats. Everyone wants seductive goats. And surfs. Well, just I want surfs. The other thing is, if you have ideas for new emotes, our flyer, not as big as our opponents. Let me know that as well, if you have ideas for new emotes. Right now on that list, we got Scoop's Chest, Come On Land, Dak, and something involving Blood Moon. Oh, it's the reckless one. Power and toughness equal to the number of goblins on the battlefield. Right now, only one. Well, we're kind of working our way through the Momir list. Our rate of Momiring has been pretty high lately. Today's league went super quick. Maybe because we only went 2 and 3, but... Alright, we have the Avenflock. Pro Tour winning Avenflock. Pincher tokens. Yeah, so this is a luck of the draw. It's a very random format. That's the kind of the idea of it. So your deck is all lands, and then once a turn you can pay X mana and discard a card, and you get a random creature of that converted mana cost. So there's a ton of randomness and variance involved. So our opponent just paid 5, discarded a land, because that's the entire deck, and they got a Rabid Wolverines. 5 mana 4/4. When it becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So now we're going to pay 6 mana and discard a land. Ooh, and we get a Thundermare with a gold border for some reason. Has haste. When it enters the battlefield, you tap all other creatures. So it gets us in 5 free damage by tapping everything down. But it's only a 5/5. Yeah, it's pretty fun, and it's really cheap if you're looking in on Magic Online. The only thing you really got to buy, because lands are essentially free, is the Momir avatar, and it's like around $10. Tap and untap red creature you control other than Impelled Giant. Impelled Giant gets +X/+0, where X is the power of the tapped creature. Okay, so they can give it +1/+1. Let's play the Mountain. Come on. No Phage. Usually I want to hit Phage, but we just got Leveler. Flowerstone Thopter gets +1, -1 in flying until end of turn. Jeez, that is a pretty bad 7-drop. I guess we can attack with this thing. This Wormfang Drake is still holding down the air. We just can't attack through it. Need about 25 1/4 cat tokens with haze. That seems like a good one. Have you been having fun with it, Rudolfo? With the Momir avatar? Wait, did I punt? Did you punt? Who punted? Oh, I wasn't even paying... Oh, it's only when it becomes blocked, Julian Miles. Squid Labs. What do you got going on there, Squid Labs? Oh, Squid Labs with the Seductive Go emote. The problem with some of the emotes is it's really hard to make them come across because they're so small. And I think the Seductive Go suffered from that slightly. It's so sweet, though. That was one of my... I really like that emote. Maybe we can still make it work. I think that might have been one of the issues, though. Oh, we got a Traxa as your 4-drop? Or, yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, Seductive Go is a long story. And now it's just kind of a running joke, but... It comes from Commander Clash, and I don't even know what the card that was played that somehow... I think it's a land that makes goat tokens. Where's the Seductive Go image? And the token, whoever... I think it's a Therese Nielsen art, actually. But the goat on it, actually... it looks like it's trying to seduce someone. Just the look on the goat's face. It's Springjack Shepherd, yeah, and also probably the land too. Yes, it seems like everyone wants the Seductive Go. When it deals damage, create a copy that's a token that's a copy of it. All right, so you better kill that thing. Am I planning on building a deck with... Yeah, Springjack Pasture. That's right, Fearless Joe. Thank you. Planning on building a Duskmantle Mindcrank combo deck. I think that's something we'll definitely do eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if it worked its way into Budget Magic. The actual combo is pretty cheap, so I could imagine that being a sweet... Oh, boy. Alright, there's the bounce. Kraken. Yes, everyone wants a seductive goat. Okay, okay, I'll add it to the list. Seductive goat is back on the list. Where is... Oh, is that the image of the goat? Let me see. Yes, that that is a seductive goat. That's it. That is exactly it. Oh no, opponent has a chroma. Yes, this format you never know. Never know what horrible thing will happen. Alright, come on. Island, turn into something good. They can stop this chroma. Symbiotic worm. Not that good. An electrified scoops as an energy token would be good. That would be pretty sweet. It's not that the it's not that the goat looks seductive. It's that the goat looks like it's trying to seduce someone. It's the other way. It looks like it's a goat that's trying to be seductive. The look, just the look on the goat's face. Someday, it's Therese Nielsen, right? Is the artist, I believe. Yeah, it's Therese. All right. Someday, I'm gonna interview Therese Nielsen, and I'm gonna ask her about the seductive goat. I need to move that to the top of my to-do list for the YouTube channel. Interview with Therese Nielsen. Why does your goat token look so seductive? Or have such a seductive look, I think is a better way of saying it. Oh, it's the Trench Gorger. Sorry, opponent. The game is essentially over. Trench Gorger, when it enters the battlefield, you can exile any number of lands from your library. And it gets +1/+1 for each of those lands, and it has trample, so this is just going to be like the biggest ever Trench Gorger. Probably not ever, because it's kind of late, but it's going to be huge. Huge enough that we should win in a single attack. Leave just a few lands in our deck in case something goes wrong. Alright, good enough. 33. And then we'll get in with our symbiotic worm here. If our opponent wants to block, that's fine. It is pretty huge. This... Alright, opponent blocks. So we'll just kill a chroma, is probably the scariest of the two. Get a bunch of worms. See, these worms, they don't look like they're seducing anyone. No, we left 10 cards. This is our hand that's 0. But we left 10 cards in our library, so we're good. Yes, Bounce Kraken gets us. Hoverguard Sweepers gets us. Filigree Angel, I don't think does enough. I think if we just attack with everything. Yeah, that does it. Hey, what's up, Fabio65? How can we vote for new emotes? I'll have to ask Richard. We were talking about the emotes today. I'll have to ask him. Maybe we'll do an actual poll. An abacus token for commander players. That would be a pretty fun one. I like that idea. Sideboard guide for Momir. No sideboards allowed. It's a pretty easy one. Why don't you ever zero drop? Mostly because zero drops are usually super bad. There's one good one, and that's Dryad Arbor. So if you get Dryad Arbor, that's awesome. Every other one, the best thing you can get is like a Memnite, like a 1/1. And like half of them have 0 power. And some percentage of them are, alright, Goblin Glider, only 24 turns of attacking. And many of them just die, like Hangerback Walker, for example, just kind of die on impact. How do I write such good budget articles? I started writing for my LGS, but it's hard to write about decks that have homogenized on a set 60 main deck. Also hard to make decks successful What should my minimum success rate be? Well, budget is definitely a challenge, and I think it really depends. I guess I'm shooting when I'm doing budget magic if I am not winning about half of the time. So somewhere around 50%. Then I'm likely to just scrap the deck and start over. There are exceptions. There are some decks that are just really cool, and they're not. The win rate doesn't matter so much. An example of that for me would be like the Reckless Panharmonicon deck. That deck is like super, super cheap, and it's really unique in what it does. It's not one of the most competitive budget Magic decks, but that's fine because it's really sweet and it's just a really fun deck. So, but I'm shooting for winning more than half the time. Obviously, the better the deck does, the happier I am. Target attacking creature. Yeah, I guess we should trade off with that. Don't want that giving things first strike. As far as writing the articles, I don't know. I guess I just kind of write them. I've never really thought through a technique of it. I guess the only thing I would say there is, ooh, Jazzy the Gold Main. Gonna pump up our stuff in the late game if we get white mana. Yeah, send me your Jun list, Cracky Senior. Saffron Olive at mtggoldfish.com. I just treat it as a teaching time, because I assume that not everyone thinks of it the same way as I do, or knows all the cards that I know and put in the deck. So I try to use it as a way to kind of teach and explain stuff, and kind of go from a pretty basic perspective, I guess. So if you don't know a ton about Magic, hopefully you'll come away from reading a budget article with understanding how the deck works, and maybe if I'm lucky, even learning some stuff that like can apply. Oh my goodness, I'm so bad. They can apply to other Magic. So I don't know. That's my technique on it. Oh, I discarded that Plains. I wanted to keep that Plains for Jazzy. Oh, that was very bad. I'm just so used to snap discarding Plains and keeping swaps and mountains. I just did it without even thinking. I really like the Seductive Goat, Squid Labs. That's true. Momir is a great way to learn cards. Yes, the Momir punt. When it or another creature enters a battlefield under your control, tap target creature opponent controls. That's actually pretty good, especially on the back of a reasonably big flyer. How soon are Richard and I going to do Frontier videos? So I mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm actually going to be on vacation next week. So it will be when I get back from vacation. There's also a chance that we do a Frontier stream. I might try to set it up to do one with another streamer. I need to talk to her, but maybe with Mrs. Mulligan. I believe she's interested in playing some Frontier. So see if maybe we can do a stream with that, which would be interesting, where we just like battle out some Frontier decks or something. But the videos won't be until after I am back from... What happened? Oh. Send to Evan Carr. Okay, killed one of our opponent's creatures. But the videos won't happen until we get back, or I get back from vacation. When is the next viewer-submitted Commander Clash? We haven't decided yet. So we did a free-for-all last week, and then we're going to have another episode that's planned coming up. So it'll be at least a couple weeks. I would like to do a non-budget Scrap Driver's Serpent. Can't block as long as defending player controls an artifact. Yep, taps down are send to Evan Scar. I would like to do a non-budget viewer submitted week. I think would be very sweet because we get some really cool non-budget decks. But we've usually always done budget or tried to stay close to budget, and people have submitted really cool decks that just don't don't fit under the budget. So I want to do a non-budget viewer submitted week, or at least like higher budget. Even if we don't go like all out, at least like more expensive. Alright, I guess we got to pass the turn. Play defense. The Mountains and Swamp Things is basically because Black and Red have the best activated abilities, and you avoid some Island Walk, Land Walk type abilities, which are definitely a problem. Because there's not really removal, or much removal in Momir. So it's pretty painful to get hit by Forest Walk or Island Walk or something. How do we choose viewer submitted decks? Everyone just kind of looks through all the lists that were submitted in the comments and emails or wherever and picks out one that they happen to like. I guess there's not a super scientific process to it. It's kind of just like, oh, I really like this deck. It looks sweet, so I'm playing this one. And whoever calls it first gets it. So me and Tomer usually race for the one that's drawing the most cards. So I try to call that early if I find one. Oh, it's Godsire. Godsire is big, but this tapping thing is actually super obnoxious, and it's probably just gonna beat us. If we had time, I think that Godsire would take over the game, but yeah, Momir is a Magic Online only format. It's unique, very random, pretty fun. Man, our opponent flyer into flyer ever since they got this Archon. Flyer, flyer, flyer. They've gained so much life. Are we literally dead or just mostly dead? They tap a flyer, swing with flyers. I guess we're not just dead yet. I mean, I don't think we can come back from here, but I don't think we're actually dead, are we? What's my definition of budget in standard and modern? Well, I don't have a good definition. People are so... Well, that's good, Rodolfo. If you're laughing a lot, you're probably doing it right with Momir. So I don't have a correct definition. People like to ask me this, and I don't know. It's definitely very debated what budget really is. But for the videos, the general goal is to keep it under $100. So that's kind of what I go with. And I tried to keep it cheaper than that if possible, but I don't think, with some weird exceptions where there's like this week's Legacy Burn deck, actually, what was it? Naya Allies, maybe? There was some deck there was a huge divide between paper prices and Magic Online prices, but normally it's under $100 in both paper and Magic Online, and hopefully significantly cheaper. Oh, I think there was a deck that was like over $100 in paper, but like 15 ticks on Magic Online. I think it was an Allies deck or something. That was one of them. And Momir, is Momir something you buy, or do you just have to own the cards for Momir? So you have to own the cards, but that includes the Momir avatar. That's the main thing you have to buy. So you don't have to own all these cards. All those cards just come with it. But you have to buy the Momir avatar to play, and that's about $10, I think. Somewhere in that price range. And then the only other thing you need in your deck is lands, and lands are essentially free. If you get the Momir avatar at the store, it actually comes with a bunch of lands. What's the difference between Legacy and Vintage? The most obvious difference is in Vintage allows people to play the Power 9 cards. No cards, other than anti-cards, but no cards are banned. If a card is super powerful, it's restricted, which is sort of a unique idea to Vintage. What do we sack here? I guess Pearl Lake Ancient? So, yeah. So, nothing's banned in Vintage, really. But instead, you can only play one of each card if it's an overpowered card. So, like, one Black Lotus, for example. Oh, Conspiracy, yeah, I guess that's true. The Conspiracies are banned. But they're like, do those even count as real Magic cards? I guess they kinda are. Sisters of Stone Death, taps on our stuff. Probably should have just scooped a while ago. I don't know if we can actually win this game. We're just kind of fighting and dragging it out. Yeah, that's what it was, Calvary Wolfpack. Boros Allies had a huge difference in price between online and paper. Taps down our Beast. I mean, I guess Hope springs eternal because we can always hit the Bounce Kraken. Well, and since if we stack this right, we get to sack this Palladium Horse, so we would have had to sack anyway, so that kind of works. Alright, come on! Hoverguard Sweepers, Bounce Kraken, something! Borborgamoose. I mean, I guess theoretically we're sort of staying alive-ish. Sounds like a good one, the Squid Labs. What's our opponent have? Meosion. Not super good. I can't believe we're kind of staying in this game. Oh, okay, yep. Shahrazad, that is a good one. That is a real Magic card. The biggest downside to restricted lists is it adds a lot of complexity. And I think it would be even more troubling in standard as far as the complexity issues. We're getting a pretty big board, but I feel like we're not really getting ahead. Well, that's a good sack outlet. So our opponent's going to tap down this. We have 1, 2, 3 flying blockers. They have 1, 2, 3 attackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we attack, 2 things are going to get through. Yeah, I guess we keep waiting. This game ended up going a lot longer than I thought. I feel like we're super far behind, but we're not just dead somehow. Opponent. Okay, Absent Guide. Exile target creature blocking or blocked by Sisters of Stone Death. Alright, so let's just double block with Beast tokens. So we're going to lose 2 Beast tokens here, which is not ideal. Yep. But we get rid of the Sisters. Make a Godsire token. I mean, the longer we live, the better chance we have of hitting a Platinum Empyrean or something. Sack the walker, get a token. Make another 8-drop. Ooh, alright. That might be the card. Scourge might get it done. Alright, pass the turn. Wow, I think we might actually be working or winning after all this. It's starting to feel like we got a chance because we can kill things. Killing all the flyers seems pretty big game. Come on, no whammies. Alright, just a big morph. And killing all the flyers gets rid of this incredibly annoying Capsho Kite Fins. Has been driving us insane. Yeah, this game has ended up being super crazy. I like the go emote. It looks pretty solid. It is pretty seductive. Well, the board's going to get a bit less crazy next turn, hopefully, with this Scourge here. So let's make another Godsire token. Sack our 3/3 elemental. So pay 6, 6 damage to each other creature with flying. Yes. And now we can actually start dealing damage. Probably not with Godsire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll just get him with Scourge. Alright. Opponent gets to make a 7. And it's Hundrug. Not too scary. Well, make a beast. Sack this thing. Play a land. Two damage. Wow, we're going to be able to kill almost our opponent's entire board. They're going to be down to 1 creature. And we're not going to lose anything thanks to all these tokens. That worked about as good as possible. Do we just win right here? Maybe? Wow! I think we actually got there. Oh my goodness. That was quite the game of Momir. Wow! Well, good game. Good game. Sweet. Well, we got in a lot of Momir tonight. So our constructed league went moderate. 2 and 3, could have been better, had some close games, had some bad running. Momir was pretty insane. Julian Miles, thank you for the game, and Timothy, thank you as well. So it was fun to get in some Momir. You never know what's going to happen in Momir. It's always fun and random. So I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Good news is we will be back Thursday with another one. So in the meantime, what's up, the Logic Blade? So in the meantime, don't forget to check out the merch page. We have some t-shirts and playmats and tokens and all kinds of cool stuff. And if you're looking to check out some old streams, head over to the MTG Goldfish Replay YouTube channel where you can find all the old streams and this stream in the future. So yeah, Godsire was super awesome there. So everyone, have an awesome night. Check out the site over the next couple days. You're not going to want to miss tomorrow's Against the Odds. It is, oh, I'm so excited for it. I can't wait for y'all to see it. We'll be back on Thursday with another stream. Until then, have an awesome couple days, and I will talk to you soon.